Will Myers getting set for tonight's game. It is game 2 of this 3-game series, Giants and the Padres. Welcome into Petco Park, a beautiful night here in San Diego. The baseball world is mourning one of its icons. Yogi Berra passed away late last night at the age of 90. What an icon he was, playing for 19 seasons. He played in 18 All-Star games, 10 World Series, and was a 3-time MVP. Sean Kelly spent some time with the Yankees and got to meet him, and he said even though Yogi wasn't at the clubhouse every day, you felt his presence there every day.
I remember the first time in spring training when I heard he was there, and I was basically just like, I got to go say hi to this guy and at least introduce myself. And I took a photo with him, and he was just all smiles. And we didn't talk much because he was, he's busy getting around, seeing everything, and there's a lot pretty overwhelming in Yankee spring training. But just hearing the stories that people tell about him and the people that know him better than I did and played with him, the way they talk about him, the way they smile when they tell stories about him, you can obviously tell he just probably touched anybody that came into his life and that had the blessing of meeting him. So he's obviously just a special person. It was a sad day yesterday for the Yankee family. I know that.
Sean keeps that picture in a frame in his house as a nice remembrance of the icon as we say goodbye to Yogi Berra. Not just a baseball icon, but an American icon. We'll be back with more right after this.
Game 2 of the series here at Petco Park tonight. The Padres hosting the San Francisco Giants. And good evening, everyone. Now, let's see, it was 60 years ago that I called my first baseball game a semi-pro game in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. And it's been a dream ride ever since to an improbable and exhilarating trip to Cooperstown this summer. But the sand goes through the hourglass, and it waits for no one, and we have evidence of that as we celebrate the life of Yogi Berra tonight. So my time has come to move to the next phase of my life, and grandchildren come immediately to mind. And after this year, I will have one more season, thanks to Ron Fowler and Mike D. They said 2016, which is going to be an exciting year for the Padres, an all-star game year. That then will be my final year as the play-by-play announcer for Fox Sports San Diego. The Padres have agreed, however, beyond that, you're not going to get totally rid of me, that I'll find some role, maybe as a broadcast emeritus. I want to be here when the Padres go all the way to that World Series championship. So thank you to everyone. It's time for me to move on, and I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to calling another big league baseball game tonight. Mike?
Well, Dick, we are very much looking forward to you calling not only tonight's game, but getting you into that all-star game season. It's going to be spectacular. And one more year. Who doesn't want another year in the sun? Dick Enberg, we're lucky we get to share that with you, and I know every Padre fan feels the very same way. So enjoy the ride, my friend. You have certainly earned it, and we get to experience another year of your wonderful calls.
Great UCLA Bruins have been upset by the Irish of Notre Dame. Humphreys goes long. Has a man, Martin. Touchdown! Oh, my! Here it comes. He pops it up. A tough play. No hitting. Nolan right. Center field. It's hit well. Lagares back to Wall. It's gone! Can you believe this? Oh, my! Brought to you by Jerome's Furniture, where Jerry's price is the lowest price every day. No pony sale, just pure value. By Petco, what we feed them matters. And by Hotel Transylvania #2, in theaters September 25th. Ready to go? Andrew Kashner will face the Giants tonight. We're pleased you're with us with Mark Grant. Set to go game 2 of the series.
Partner, want to let you know that was very heartfelt. Came from the heart. It's a pleasure working with you. Hey, one more year, like Mike Pomeranz said, one more year in the sun. And you know, when I think about it, you've gotten to do something, fulfill a dream for a long, long time.
60 years.
I know. And, you know, I was just talking to Mark Sweeney. As a player, our dream was to play in the big leagues. Our time is limited, 31, 32. Some guys play late 30s. You've gotten to do something which you've loved for 60 years.
How about that? Huh?
Isn't that great?
It is great.
You've touched many lives, and that was evident this past summer at Cooperstown. So I just want to say it's a pleasure. I watched you as a kid. I know that I don't mean to throw the age thing out there,
but we got to get out of here.
No, but it is amazing. I watched you as a kid. You were the sports voice to me growing up: tennis, basketball, football, and I love you. I mean it.
Thank you.
And,
I know you do. It's a privileged life, and it's not a sad time. It's a happy time for me because I'm able to look out. That's why we wanted to announce it here before the end of the season, to know that there's a year ahead, and then we can all make plans accordingly.
You get to see Archie, too.
Oh, yeah. He's coming next month over from London, my first grandchild, and I'm hoping, hint, 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 other children, that we might have more of those grandbabies coming along. So Cashner working on the leadoff man, Angel Pagan, hit the key 2-run home run last night, and the count goes 3-0. And there's a strike called by Stu Surewater, new face on the umpiring scene. Cashner looking for a 7th win of the year, his 30th start of the season. And the count goes full. Yeah, people have asked me through the years, well, how do you want to really finally wrap up your life? I said, well, you know, I'd like to be about 95 and say, and so the final score is, and the next thing you hear is my head hitting the table. But then I thought, you know what, I don't think I like that either. I'm just going to go out and do a little dancing in a couple of years.
And you'll still be lurking around the corner
I'm not
some
going
stuff
away.
for us.
I'm not going away. I'm going to be the Padre baseball announcer emeritus. Yeah. Here's the Giants lineup tonight, brought to you by Hyundai. Pagan has walked to start things. Then DeAza, Matt Duffy hits third. Buster Posey back in the lineup. He's at first base. Brandon Crawford with his 19 home runs hits fifth. Then Marlon Byrd, Kelby Tomlinson, good-looking young second baseman. Trevor Brown got his first big league hit, an RBI double last night. And former Padres star Jake Peavy on the mound batting ninth. How about our scouting report, Mark?
It's brought to you by Montalvo, Dick, and Andrew Cashner. Hey, get ahead. He's making his 30th start of the year and expand late. He's got the stuff to where he can get to 2 strikes very, very quickly. See if he can put them away quickly as well. Make them fish for something when they're in the hole.
DeAza, one of the acquisitions here late in the season, as the Giants were hit with 2 key injuries in the outfield, Hunter Pence and Nori Aoki. 9th year for Bruce Bochy, who has become one of the top managers in baseball. He's got his Cooperstown ticket punched, I believe.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's a piece of work.
A bluff by Pagan, but he stays at first base as Derek Norris came up ready to throw. There's young Surewater with Joe West, the crew chief, at first. Kerwin Danley at second, and D.J. Rayburn over third. 2-1 to DeAza. This pitching matchup tonight is the same as we saw a couple of weeks ago up in San Francisco when Cashner dueled Jake Peavy, and Peavy had a terrific game through a 2-hitter. Tyson Ross, outstanding, and yet had to absorb his 11th loss of the year. Look at those numbers: 4 hits, 2 runs.
You know, you look at that line, Dick, and you think that the guy's got a pretty darn good chance to win, but not a lot of support last night. He pitched his tail off. He was locked in from the get-go.
When you look ahead to next year, he's going to be a star. He's got all the qualities. There goes the runner, and it's ball 4. So this is what has haunted Cashner throughout the season. He finds ways to get in trouble. He starts the game by walking both Pagan and DeAza. Let's check the Padres defense behind him, brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. Jankowski, a late entry in center field with Kemp in right and Upton in left. On the infield, Jerko at short, Solarte at third. On the right side, Spangenberg, and Brett Wallace gets a start at first base. Pinch homer last night and a single. And Derek Norris behind the plate.
Yeah, you hit a home run, you deserve a start the next day. So hopefully Brett Wallace can add to that home run total and help Andrew Casher by giving him some support tonight.
So with walks, the table is set for Duffy, Posey, and possibly Crawford. Duffy, a tick under 300 on the season. First pitch strike, breaking ball. Duffy currently the number 2 rookie in batting average on the season at .299. A good-looking outfielder with the Cardinals, Stephen Piscotty, is hitting .309, the top rookie average. Another strike. That's more like it, 0-2.
Yeah, now go for the punch out. Early on, you want to try to work for that ground ball. Get a double play with runners at first and second.
Infield set for 2. Just missed.
And tough pitch to lay off. That slider that Andrew just threw had some very nice tilt to it.
A ball, 2 strikes to the lanky Duffy. He leads the team in grounding into double plays. Spoils that, and that came back on a wicked low line. That scattered fans just to the edge of the Padre dugout. Backs him off, 2-2.
Nothing wrong with moving the feet there. After going away, emergency swing also by Duffy, rifling that one over the dugout. Key here, work down because you got Posey on deck.
Duffy grew up, born in Long Beach, high school there. Was an 18th round pick of the Giants, fouls it away. Attended Lakewood High School up in the Long Beach area, and then went on to Cal State Long Beach, so he is a homeboy. Pretty good pick in the 18th round of the draft.
Yeah.
2 on, no one out. Couple of walks to Pagan and Diaza, and now the 2-2 delivery to Duffy, and the full count.
You know, you talk about the 18th round. It gets to the 18th round, the Giants have the pick, and maybe there's one scout that saw him do something special that one day on the field. Whether it was backing up a play where another guy wouldn't be there. Maybe it was a heads-up play. Maybe it was the way he hit behind a runner. And look at Matt Duffy now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
3 years with the 49ers of Long Beach, didn't hit 1 home run. He's got 10 this year in the bigs. Runners go, and a ground ball chopped to first. Wallace will get the out there as the runners move up. Pagan over to third, and Diaza to second, and here's Buster Posey. Posey at Petco. Unfortunately, a very happy marriage. There are his numbers on the year, 3rd best in the National League at .327. He has the best average of any opposing player at Petco. Lifetime at .373. No, check that now. I'm going to make this exact. .338. Here in September, hitting .373 overall. So the hot hitter with 2 men in scoring position. Didn't play last night. He's given a night off. He's got the usual September ailments. Every player has something wrong with him. So consistent. Doesn't matter who's on the mound, a righty or a lefty. Against right-handed pitching, .326. Against left-handed pitching, .328.
Yeah.
That's just a terrific hitter.
Consistency. And Andrew Casher pumping the 98-mile-an-hour fastball that last pitch.
Look at his record against Cashner. .500 batting average, 11 for 22, and a couple of homers. 2-1 with first base open.
Yep.
Well, you've walked 2 men. This wouldn't be a bad walk. Take your chances on Brandon Crawford. Although he's had a good season, 19 homers.
Andrew is adding a little extra here against Buster Posey. 98 and 97 on the fastballs.
Oh, he got him to chase after that breaking ball. A good one.
A very good slider. Everything's been down to Buster Posey. Watch him get up on top of the slider. Great rotation. And Posey all upper body, all arms.
And Fox Tracks had that. That would have been a called strike had he not swung. And that was a. You won't see Posey fooled like that very often. Right on the corner at the knees.
Oh.
That one gets Norris. Didn't take long. First inning, and Norris already clipped by a foul tip.
Right off the right kneecap. My goodness. What else does this kid have to go through? Watch the right knee. And you know what, folks? Sure, he's wearing shin guards, but that hurts.
Todd Hutchison, the superb head trainer of the Padres, out there to give him solace. There's not really much you can do except try to walk it off. Go get him. Rub a little dirt on it. And it's just been stunning how quickly he gets nicked as soon as he comes into a game. Last night he comes off the bench, and within the first half inning he has a foul tip in his face.
And this is the point in time when Austin Hedges is kind of maybe doing some stretching and up in the dugout just to keep a close eye on Todd Hutchison and Derek to see. Looks like he's going to be okay.
You put on that mask and the gear, the tools of ignorance. You're smart to wear it, but that got the tag because you know when you put on the mask and chest protector, you're not too smart because you're going to get knocked around.
Yeah.
I say that facetiously, but it's these guys are warriors behind the plate.
Yogi Berra would be proud of Derek Norris.
Yeah, he had his share. 2-2 now to Posey. 1 out, 2 on. Popped up. Out into shallow center. Jerko trying to square himself, so in case Pagan tags and tries to score, that he's able to make the throw, and that's a big out, getting Posey to sky to the shortstop. 2 away to Brandon Crawford.
He went back to the breaking ball, got him out in front. Remember the one swing earlier where he brought him to his knees on the outer half? Watch Buster Posey pulls the string. Andrew Casher all upper body, brings him to his back knee, takes all the oomph, all the power out of that swing. That barrel catching it way out in front, working underneath it, and keeping the ball close enough to where they can't score a run on the sac fly.
25 pitch first inning, and here's Brandon Crawford with his 19 home runs. 78 runs batted in. Had an RBI single last night. Slider on the inside edge. Pagan at third. Piazza leads from second. And it's strike 2. 97. He's got the heater alive here in the first inning.
He is most certainly humping it up here early on, reaching back.
Padres nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award last night. Received that from Clemente Jr. 1-2.
Andrews pitched well lately at home. 3-2, 2.89 ERA in his last starts here at Petco Park. So hopefully after this first inning, get a 0 up there, and then short innings after this so we can go deeper into the ball game.
One of the problems for Cashner, he's not received a lot of run support. Maybe that'll change tonight. Line foul deep down the left field side. Combination of your teammates not scoring many runs with the fact that the defense has allowed 22 unearned runs behind him. And that explains in part that 6-win, 15-loss record.
That last pitch, Dick, was 99 on the gun.
And there's the single. Wouldn't you know it? Here comes one run. Here comes Diaz. He'll score. The throw is high. On to second goes Crawford. It's 2-0. Oh, my. So the Giants, that's why they're a tough team, taking advantage of opportunity. 2 walks become 2 runs.
Well, just didn't get it in enough, or it looks like Brandon Crawford may have been hunting the fastball. And as Mark Sweeney talks about once in a while, you pick a certain part of the plate. Well, that swing there looks like Crawford was looking in. He turned on that fastball. Once again, that last pitch, 99. Crawford turning on a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. He must have been looking for that heater in.
That's a good point. Here's Marlon Byrd. Tyson Ross didn't allow a hit through the first 4 innings last night. Then Byrd led off the 5th with a single. And eventually that became the first run for the Giants. Credit Crawford with 2 more runs batted in. He's now hit 80 on the season. With Cincinnati and San Francisco combined this year, Byrd has 22 homers since he's joined the Giants. Hitting a solid 282. He's knocked in 25 runs in the last 8 weeks.
That's where you can get them. Sliders down and away. Oh, Marlon Byrd going from Cincinnati, where it's pretty much a bandbox. The ball flies out of that ballpark from foul pole to San Francisco, where it's, you know, it's pretty fair. Kind of leads towards the pitchers.
Icing the pitcher are the Padres in this first inning.
Yeah.
Peavy has been ready to go for about 15 minutes. But we'll be pleased with the 2-0 lead or more as Byrd swings and misses strike 3. First strikeout for Cashner, a 33 pitch first inning for Cashner. Bottom of the first inning. Here come the Padres against Jake Peavy, and here's the starting lineup for San Diego, brought to you by your Toyota dealers of San Diego County. Jan Solarte moved up into the leadoff spot with Will Myers a late scratch tonight. Then Spangenberg, Kemp, Upton, their usual spots 3 and 4. Brett Wallace in that 5th hole after the home run and single off the bench last night. Then Jed Jerko. Derek Norris hit 7th, Travis Jankowski 8th, and Cashner 9th.
And the old veteran, right-hander Jake Peavy. His scouting report is brought to you by UCSD Health. With the fastball cutter, you see the repertoire there, and he relies on a lot of secondary pitches. You know, try to spot the fastball. He's going to try to get guys out in front with that cutter and that slider.
Had a terrific outing up in San Francisco when He shackled the Padres, won handily on a 2-hitter. The only run came on a home run by Justin Upton. Strike 1-1. Good September for Solarte. In 20 games of this month, he's hit .346. Continuing to establish himself as the man that wants that hot corner in the future for San Diego.
You know, I think he's deserved it. He's done a great job, and he has got the type of personality. I think you'd agree with me, Dick, to where next spring training he's going to go at it like he's a rookie and play with that passion at third base from day one in spring training. That's just the type of guy he is.
He has a terrific personality. He hits that one to right field, not hard, and Bird is there to make the catch. That'll bring up Corey Spanchenberg, and we'll introduce the Giants defense, brought to you by the California Lottery. Same as last night, basically. Diaza, Pagan, and Bird in the outfield. Around the horn, Duffy, Crawford, Tomlinson, and Posey, with young Brown behind the plate. Had a couple of hits, Trevor Brown. His first major league knocks last night. Spanchenberg is homered in each of the last 2 games. Gives him 4 on the season. He went long and he went short last night. A home run to right and a bunt single to third.
Kind of like the stock market, commodities, right? Going long and short.
Well, you know all
winter
about
wheat.
that.
Think about going long on winter wheat. What do you think?
I don't know. Hog bellies or pork bellies are they're in there too. You know.
I think I'll wait for the crop report to come out.
1 ball and 1 strike to Spanchenberg.
Well, you see Jake work underneath that one, and he will. I mentioned this in San Francisco, and we saw it here in San Diego. He will get mad at himself. He will yell at himself. You'll be able to hear him all the way up here.
Yeah, he has serious clubhouse meetings with himself.
Yes, he does, yeah.
Falls behind 3-1 to Spanchenberg with Matt Kemp on deck.
Like Mark Sweeney said in the pregame show, he was a teammate with Jake. You knew what you were going to get every 5th day. He was going to leave it all out in that circle right there on that mound. And a great teammate.
That's in there, full count. We talked about Duffy being a 16th round pick. How about Peavy? He lasted until the 15th round.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
So someone in the San Diego scouting department back in 1999 picked a gem. And ball 4. The Padres get a free ticket, and that'll bring the tying run to the plate. Matt Kemp. And a happy birthday to Matt Kemp today. He and Jed Jerko celebrate on the same day. 31 is Kemp today, and Jerko celebrates number 27. On his birthday last year against the Giants, hit a home run.
Nice.
Two RBI shy of 100 for Kemp.
Boy, it'd be nice to get over 25 and 100 on the year.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just look, during the winter, you look at your numbers, and just 25, such a nice home run number, and 100 RBIs. Hey.
Yeah, you get into the triple digits. That's doing something. Just as you mentioned, Dick, there's that little nugget. Hey, the script is written. It would be only appropriate for something like that to happen. Get those 2 runs back with 1 swing.
Roll Tide, a big Bama football fan, Jake Peavy. Who's a bigger fan, Peavy of Alabama or Sweeney of Notre Dame?
Whew.
That's a tough one, huh?
That'd be a good competition right there. Notre Dame's hurting, even though they're 2-0, 3-0. That's about all the games they're going to win this year.
Please send all your letters.
I'll just try
Alpine, Post Office Bucks.
I'm trying to get under Sweeney's skin there. Trying to stir it up a little bit.
1-2 in the dirt. Good block by young Brown. Well, my Chippewas had their hands full this week. You know, they've had 2 very close losses to Oklahoma State and last week in overtime Syracuse, and they get rewarded this week. What a schedule for the first-year coach. They go to Michigan State.
Oh.
Yeah. It's going to hurt the Spartans when the Chippewas leave town, go back to Mount Pleasant with a win. 2-2.
See if Peavy tries to keep pounding away, breaking stuff.
Runner goes, and a roller to the left side. Shortstop Crawford guns across for the out as Spanchenberg moves into scoring position. I mean, I think Kemp this year deservedly, and it's a good tag, a workhorse. I mean, he just didn't come out of the lineup. And you talk about a man now, he's 31. You know, the aches and pains are more intense. You get past 30.
You know what, Dick, you make a great point, and I've always contended that in this game of baseball, you know, a guy might be 31, but when you play almost every game, almost every inning, like Matt Kemp has this year, you know, there's been a few games, but he's answering the bell. Your body, it's not so much maybe a 31-year-old, it's maybe a 36 or a 37-year-old with all the aches and pains you go through.
I mean, you talk about just the course in one day. The average fan doesn't appreciate how early they get here. They might work in the weight room, then they take batting practice. You know, then a game, you're sliding, you're diving, you're swinging hard.
Everybody's banged up.
It's like football at the end of the year.
Yeah.
You know, the teams that make it all the way to the Super Bowl, you go back and say they didn't have any serious injuries. They're all hurting, but nothing serious.
Right.
That's what probably cost the Giants a playoff this year, the injuries. Upton, who took Peavy deep at AT&T Park when they met a couple of weeks ago. 26 homers on the year, just as Kemp would be nice, 25 and 100. How about Upton with 30 home runs and into the 90s and RBIs? Yeah. Two and 0. He can be selective here. Hit to right field and deep. Bird going back, and makes the catch against the wall. The veteran right fielder. Outstanding play, takes a run and a base hit away from Upton and the RBI. Not quite deep enough.
About 15 minutes before the game today during BP. he felt some soreness in that surgically repaired wrist. After treatment, he felt fine, but Pat Murphy made the decision just for precautionary to keep him out today, let that wrist heal up a little bit. Everything's supposed to be okay, just on the precautionary side.
All right, Chris, thank you for that report. And we saw Myers there in a boyish, happy mood as he normally comes to the ballpark with that smile.
No need to rush that injury.
Kelby Tomlinson, 1-2 the count. Then Trevor Brown and the pitcher Peavy here in the Giants second. They lead 2-0. They start tonight with 11 games to go for them after tonight. 6 behind the leading Dodgers, and that's significant historically. Foul ball, because back in 1951, with actually 12 games left, which counting this game tonight for them, 12 games left, they were 6 games behind the Brooklyn Dodgers and made up the ground, tied the Dodgers, and of course what happened in the playoffs? The Bobby Thompson home run.
Yeah. And the Giants have 4 games against the Dodgers at home.
Yeah, so the Dodgers started tonight 1-1. They're tied with Arizona 1-1 in the second. So Bruce Bochy's team not giving up. They got ground to make, but it's happened before. Now 3-2.
Well, getting out of that first with maybe the average 16 pitches or fewer. A heavy workload for any pitcher when you throw up that many tosses. So the key is quick innings after that if you can.
Did he go? No, and it's another walk, a leadoff walk. Joe West waves it off. 3 walks already from Cashner. How about the keys to the game, Mark Grant, brought to you tonight by your San Diego Honda dealers?
Well, clean up the defense. Remember last night, kind of threw the ball around a little bit. 2 miscues. Padres took the loss 4-2 to the Giants, and keep the K's coming. See how he spelled coming with a K?
That's very clever.
Yeah. James Shields, 200 strikeouts. Tyson Ross, and keep the strikeouts coming.
And you spelled keep with K too.
That's right. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
There's the throw to second base, and did he get the tag on him? Yes. As Tomlinson, who has shown great speed in the games against the Padres, actually the throw was behind the slide, but the tag on the back before he hit the bag. And if that holds, it'll be the 38th caught stealing for Derek Norris this year.
Kind of screened by his helmet on that angle. Tough to tell. He is walking off the field. Ron Wodas is on the phone.
Too late.
I agree.
Time's up. I'm going to, if you don't mind, before the season's over, I'm going to have an open letter to the commissioner on how we can get back to speeding up the game and the whole instant replay process. Will you allow me a little time to do that?
Absolutely. Okay. You can have all the time you want.
I've got some ideas. Something's got to be done, and I think there will be changes made, and I'm going to get my 2 cents worth. I'm going to get my 3 cents worth.
Put in $1 worth, will you?
Can you blow me 50 cents?
What would your time limit be, Dick?
I haven't written it yet, but
No?
I've got,
right.
And I think they're pretty good ideas. In a way, I've expressed them during the course of the season, but I want to put it all together.
Sure.
Swing and a miss. Tomlinson. Check Trevor Brown. Tomlinson out trying to steal. Trevor Brown 2 for 9. Got 2 hits last night, a single and an RBI double. A happy night for this young man who played for the Bruins at UCLA. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Second strikeout for Cashner. 2 away to Jake Peavy.
Almost looked like a backup slider from Andrew Cashner. Thanks to Derek Norris throwing out the runner for the first out. Now the strikeout. Most runners caught stealing, Dick, in a single season since 2002. Look who's on there, our guy.
Isn't that something? That's 14 seasons, 13 years. He's got a chance to be the best of the bunch. And what was the criticism of him when he came over from the Oakland A's in the trade?
Said he couldn't throw people out.
Has he proven
yes.
a lot of folks wrong? 38 thrown out this year. Leads the major leagues.
He's done a great job.
Peavy hitting over 200, 7 for 31, has a home run. Giants pitchers collectively, and of course it's bolstered by Madison Bumgarner, they've got 9 home runs this year as a group. 2-1. Mad Bum has 5. Hudson, Leake, Peavy, and Vogelsong all with 1 home run. That's the most by a Giants pitching staff since 1934.
Wow. Impressive.
Yeah, carrying the lumber up there and helping themselves. All the little things and how they add up.
Well, he stayed on that slider nicely. Look at Jake. He's such a competitor. He got a hanging slider there. He should have done something with it, he's thinking to himself. Fouled it back.
He's a bulldog. Whoa, the bat goes out towards short, and Peavy goes to the dugout and will come back out for the bottom half of the second. A couple of strikeouts for Andrew Kashner here in the second. Padres come up with Brett Wallace leading off. Came off the bench to hit his 4th pinch hit home run last night and added a single. He'll lead it off. Padres hitting, bottom of the second, trailing 2-0. It's time now for our Arco top tier profile. Brett Wallace coming up to the club during the season and producing well off the bench, 4 pinch hit home runs. That's one shy of the all-time Padre record held by Jerry Turner back in '78.
Yeah, don't throw a first pitch fastball for a strike. He'll turn on it. He's looking for that heater. He's looking to burn it.
Giants defense stacks it up on the right side. Only Duffy left on the shortstop side. His home run was to deep right center. Not bad for 79 at bats. Fastball taken for a strike. Here it is last night. Cutter Strickland.
He got extended on that one. That ball was up. It was on the outer part of the plate.
And then the second time up, remember, he smashed a one-hopper at the first baseman. Adrianza went off his glove and hit him in the head, and now he's not in the lineup. Another concussion case for the Giants. They've got 4 men not playing because of a concussion this year. Oki's been on the bench for a long time. Brandon Belt another. 1-2. Wallace, Jerko, Norris against Peavy here in the second. Did you ever have a concussion?
I'm sure I have, because I think I got one when I was born.
Well, they shouldn't have dropped you. I knew that was a mistake.
But no, I remember, you slide, you hit your head, or you do something. That wasn't a big thing back when I was growing up. You just got up, dusted off, and went and kept playing.
Just got your bell rung.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing serious. First strikeout for Peavy as he takes care of Wallace. Here's Jed Jerko.
Well, let's see what's in the toolbox of Jake Peavy. We talk about the fastball. He'll cut it. Once in a while, he'll throw that curveball. But mostly fastball, cutter, slider. 88 to about 93. Relies a lot on his secondary stuff.
Jerko wants to celebrate his 27th birthday with a big night. 16 home runs for Jed. A ball and a strike. I'm thinking about the pluses and minuses of a season as we come close to the finish line. A big plus this year is that scoreboard.
Oh, yeah.
How terrific has that been?
It's unbelievable.
I mean, it's just the largest in the National League. It's just all the information you'd ever want. The replay, some of the presentations, production pieces they do, inserting the baseball players into a music video or a movie.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they do a great job up there at Mission Control. Mike Grace and all those yahoos over here. Yeah, here's Gracie right there, number 1. Yeah, he's number 2 as well. There's Gracie right there. I should scratch him off.
If he's not looking and doing his work, then
There's
don't give him credit.
Alex Miniak, the public address announcer.
Line drive, base hit for Jerko. Yeah, there's one candle on the cake for Jed. Brings the tying run to the plate. Derek Norris.
It's a nice little sliver of cake to the opposite field. It's a breaking ball, and Jed stays on it enough. It's almost all arms. Watch the back end going towards the Giants' dugout and just reaching out with those arms off the end of the bat to serve it to right field.
He's so strong. He's still able to put a good punch on that pitch from Peavy. Norris. Here we are late in the season, and there are 2 Padres in the lineup with the same home run total and the same RBI total. Now, how does that happen? Solarte and Norris have the same 13 homers, 59 runs batted in. Broken bat, fly ball, back of first. Can he get out there? And no! Hustling to second is Jerko, as Tomlinson, with all of his speed, couldn't chase down that broken bat blooper for Derek Norris. Padres with 2 on with 1 away.
Professor, that was a triple B. Broken bat blooper. And Derek Norris will gladly sacrifice that shillelagh. Sounds like it snapped all the way up here and just perfectly. And as you mentioned, Jed Jerko's got to hold up. Okay, hold up. Go halfway. Drops in. First and second.
Yeah, it's really no man's land, because if he catches that ball and pops up, I don't know if Jerko can get back to first base. Rack that one up as a line drive single in the box score. Crawford coming in to talk with Peavy just to make sure who's covering on a possible double play ball and go over the signs as well. Travis Jankowski inserted into the lineup just about an hour before game time when Will Myers with that sore wrist was scratched. Even though you wouldn't normally call for a possible bunt single here, you got to believe that Jankowski, that's always in the back of his mind, back of his game. Just 60 at bats for Jankowski, producing 13 hits, 1 home run. Pulled to first. Posey goes to second. And just in time, Norris almost beat that throw as Posey almost casually throwing to second base. They get that runner, and first and third to Andrew Kashner.
Hey, keep up with the pennant races in true HD quality on MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service. College students enjoy back to school offer with 35% off discount. Authentication is required. Blackouts and other restrictions apply, so visit MLB.TV today. The 3 greatest words in the English language. Back to school.
For parents, you mean. That's in the parents' dictionary.
Yeah.
It's like the 3 greatest words when you're dealing with your partner in life, right?
Oh, exactly.
Aren't I love you? It's you're right, dear. First pitch, ball 1. Cashner has 5 hits and 1 RBI. Here's a chance to help himself. Jerko at third, Jankowski with good speed at first. Ground ball sharply, but right there is Duffy. Just couldn't find the hole, and the inning comes to an end. Padres leave 2 more. It's a 2-0 Giants lead. Heard word when driving home last night. Yogi was gone, age 90. What a player. I mean, you know the malaprops and you know Yogi Berra, and you think that he was a cartoon character and a comedian. This guy could play. He was one of the greatest ever. And when you want to talk about catchers, maybe Johnny Bench and Yogi Berra, that's in the conversation. I mean, he was 5'7". He was like a gnome. He was blocky, squatty, and he had no strike zone. I mean, he swung at everything.
Yeah. Bad ball hitter, one of the greatest.
He really was. And then a character, too. And then he played along. And he was right. He said, I really didn't say everything I said. I mean, and so we make that another malaprop. But there's a lot of genius in some of the things we're talking about tonight.
I was doing some research on him today and come to find out that St. Louis Cardinals passed on him. Had a chance to sign with them as a free agent back in the day. Branch Rickey, the Dodgers, only saw him as a good AAA player. Didn't sign with the New York Giants. They passed on him, and all of a sudden signs with the Yankees, and the rest is history.
Part of that Yankee dominance. 10 World Series championships in his career. That's into Pagan, and he takes the walk. Uno, dos, adios. Pagan out on 3 pitches. Sorry, I had to borrow
That's
that.
okay. You're more than welcome anytime.
And there are some of them, and I'd love to come to a fork in the road, take it, but there's genius in that statement. Ain't over till it's over, and now it is over for Lawrence Peterborough. No one goes to that restaurant anymore, too crowded.
Yeah.
Nickel ain't worth a dime anymore.
I remember about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I was on the road, on the bus to the ballpark, and the Colonel was on the bus because he always took the bus out. So he takes out his cell phone and he makes a phone call. And he says, "Lawrence, how are you doing today?" And he chatted with whoever it was on the phone. And they chatted for about 5 minutes. And I was just curious. "Hey, Colonel, you catching up with an old friend?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Well, a high school buddy? What?" He goes, "No, it was Yogi. Called him by Lawrence."
That sounds like Jerry Coleman, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I heard some of his pals call him Larry.
Yeah.
But Yogi was an immediate identification when you heard that. So in the Big Apple today and tonight, you can imagine the stories being told about Lawrence Bear.
Did you see where the Empire State Building is going to be lit up in blue and white pinstripes up top?
That's nice.
Yeah.
Diaza walked and scored, as did Pagan in the first inning on a 2-out single by Brandon Crawford for the Giants' 2 runs. Cashner now has struck out the last 3 men he's faced, and ahead of Diaza 1-2. .96, but just misses. We're talking about Bill Center, the longtime baseball writer here in San Diego, and before the game, and make a very good point that because of those malaprops, everyone thought Barrow was not a smart guy. He was a smart man. He just, he didn't have the full command of the language, and he wasn't. There's Bill, as articulate as others, but there's a lot of genius in the words that he spoke. And he brightened the room whenever he was there, brightened the stadium. 3-2.
Well, you see the pitches. That was pitch number 7. Everything's middle away from Andrew. And the pitch count continues to creep up there. That was pitch number 60.
And he misses again. And for the second time, Diaza walks. 4 strikeouts, 4 walks by Cashner. With 1 out, here's Matt Duffy. Baltimore beat Washington today 4-3, and the Mets lost to Atlanta 6-3. So no change there as Washington continues in its tailspin. And the Mets enjoy a 6.5 game lead. Ooh, almost a bit too casual. Diaza coming back to the bag.
I wonder if he tweaked something over there, maybe an ankle or a knee as he goes back. Ooh.
Dave Roberts on the phone, and now they're going to challenge, and again allowing a lot of extra time. That's one of the areas where there has to be improvement. Let's see. This is much like the play Matt Kemp, remember, he came back standing in the last week and was tagged on a quick tag, and he looks like he's out to me.
Yeah, the key on that play is that the ball is thrown on the outfield part of first base, so as a first baseman you have a chance to let that ball travel. To me, looking at that second look, it's very, very close.
Yes, acting as though he turned something as he came back to the bag. Fans reacting here at the stadium on the big screen. Play under review.
Well, I can tell you already the play is going to stand because Joe West is at first. Those guys in New York aren't going to overturn Joe West.
Oh, that's right. Joe West was at second last night when we had that controversial play that everyone thought the runner was out, but Joe West called him safe.
Yeah,
wouldn't you know?
He's going to be safe.
Okay. Well, he's the senior umpire. No!
Oh,
he's out of there. See?
I stand corrected.
Yeah, way to go, Joe. So a pickoff by Cashner, 2 away. Didn't want to get his uniform dirty, and it cost the Giants an out.
Good call. Nice. And you know what? In all honesty, when you're looking at Joe West, he was kind of screened by the runner and then the tag. So it would have been tough for Joe to see that tag being applied.
Give them a little love. You know, they're humans too.
Oh, yeah. I say hugging up. They're people too. Hey, if you see Joe West walking down the street, just go up and give him a hug.
And say, you're a people too. And Joe will hit you with an elbow and you'll say, well, my grand said you were a nice guy. Duffy grounded to first, his first time. And that moved runners to second and third, and they scored on the 2-out single by Crawford.
But Dick, what I want to reiterate on that play was the key, throwing that ball on the outside part of the bag and letting that ball travel as the first baseman, because the ball travels quicker than you catching the ball and then applying the tag.
Yeah, it was all one motion catch.
Yep, correct.
1-2 to Duffy.
And as a pitcher, you can work on that. Work on your footwork and work on throwing that dart over to first base on that side of the bag. Make it easier for your first baseman.
The biggest challenge for young pitchers, say high school and even college pitchers, is have enough confidence in your control that when you wheel, you fire it over there. You just don't throw it over there.
Exactly.
I mean, at that little bit of difference, like Cashner threw a bullet over there, that's how you get the out.
Yep.
That's in there. Another strikeout for Cashner. 2 more here in the third, and a total of 5 in the game.
This day in baseball history, 1947, prior to a game against the Giants, sold out Ebbets Field. Dodgers staged Jackie Robinson Day. Brooklyn rookie had endured much grief during that season, and he celebrated by stealing home against the Yankees and Yogi Bear. Look at Yogi. He still believes he's out, and we've had that conversation with him. All he had to say is Jackie Ray was out. Number 42 remembered on this day as well. 2-0 as the Padres go to work here in the bottom of the third. Top of the order, Solarte, Spangenberg, and Kemp. Milwaukee beats the Cubs today 4-1. That'll say a lot of play. The Angels edge Houston 6-5, so the Angels still looking at a possible wild card spot as Houston's late summer slump, huh?
Wow.
That's got to be painful for A.J. Hinch and all those Astros fans with high hopes. 2-1. Dodgers, Arizona into the fourth, tied at 1. Pittsburgh in the seventh at Colorado. Football score 7-6. Pittsburgh leading the Rockies. 3-1 to Solarte. Toronto gets a shutout over the Yankees 4-0, so they're back 3.5 up on the Yanks, American League East.
Hey, watch out for the Twins now. Only 2 games back in that wild card since Houston's been struggling.
High fly ball to left. Diaza waits for it to come out of the night. 1 away. Spangenberg walked in the first inning. The only free pass allowed by Jake Peavy.
He got you a point tonight, Professor.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about Spangenberg.
Yeah, since Will Myers was scratched, you had him. You went with Corey.
And he's just starting. Duffy at third, in on the edge of the grass, respecting the speed and bunting talent of Spangenberg. There it is, and he takes it back. 1-1. '91, a little cutting action on that.
Yeah, he will throw that cutter. And Jake Peavy doing a little pirouette on that front foot of his after the follow through, straightening up and kind of spinning around.
146 career wins for Peavy coming in. Chopped by the mound, and a chance for Spangenberg, and he is out on a close play. Tomlinson getting to that ball in the quick flip to first just in time. Spangenberg's not convinced he's out by that look. And the look.
Yeah, he's out. I think that ball hit the back of the glove just before Corey hit his foot on the bag.
So 2 away. And Matt Kemp the batter. Kemp grounded to short his first time. One of the problems with the whole review process, in this reporter's opinion, and I'm comparing it to tennis. Ripped to third and under the glove of Duffy. And Kemp will take a turn and hold. That ball got by Duffy before he could get the leather down. Sharp single with 2 outs off the bat of Kemp. Third Padre hit tonight.
Oh, very makeable play for Duffy.
Ruled a base hit. Brings up Upton. He sent right fielder Bird right to the wall in right field to capture his bid for extra bases the first time.
They gave a base hit on that?
Too hot to handle.
Oh.
Here's the pay by Bird, flying into the wall to make the catch.
I thought that ball was going to tail away, and Bird, he was actually catching that ball on the way down. He jumped a little bit too early. It worked to his advantage, though.
Upton represents the tying run, as we mentioned. Homered against Peavy up in San Francisco. Bird out there working on his swing. Struck out this first time.
Hey, I'm all for guys getting their hits, especially Matt Kemp, Justin Upton go down the Padre line, but I think that's a makeable play. I think that's got to be an error.
Two 2-0 Giants. A ball and a strike now to Upton. Going back to my thought about tennis.
Sure.
When they first decided to use the graphic representation of the lines and having the call made if a player challenged, now they had a challenge, a call made by electronics. A lot of folks didn't like it. Yeah, Mary Carrillo didn't like it at all. I remember working with her. But High fly ball back of short, angling toward the foul line is Crawford, and makes the catch in foul territory, and that's the end of the third. More on the tennis versus baseball. On only one hit, a 2-run single by Brandon Crawford. The Padres no runs, 3 hits. Mark Sweeney kind enough to give some of his time here in the middle of this game 2.
My privilege to be up here.
Yeah.
In greatness, and obviously Mark Grant did not get the memo. You know what that is, right? The blue tie memo.
The blue corbata.
Yeah, but he got the red pocket square. As Posey fouls that off first. Wallace takes a look. And it's out of his reach.
When you think about it, you got it. Yeah. I got your email.
Yeah.
You didn't get it?
Corbata azul.
Is that Rosetta Stone?
Blue tie.
Locked him up.
Corbata rojo.
Really?
Believe it.
Rojo or Colorado?
I'm gonna stop on this one.
What's going on, Mark Sweeney?
Watching a beautiful ball game.
2 strikes now on Posey, who popped it short his first time. Against the Padres. 6 games, 391. With 9 RBIs. And he looked bad again, reaching out on that breaking ball, and catcher Norris flips the mask, and there's one away.
Second time he got him with sliders way out in front. Working underneath him and keeping him on the infield in the air.
So anyway, tennis.
Oh, yeah.
At first, some folks didn't like it. But what tennis did was, if you didn't like the line call, you had to say, right now I challenge. Now you can't wait and walk around. Look, maybe in French Open you look for the mark. But you've got a challenge. Then they had the system down so it worked quickly. And the fans liked it because they would root the ball, graphically, whoop, and see whether it was out. And if it was a close to the line, they would cheer it. And it involved the fans. What is happening in baseball is it's totally taking the fans out of the game. It just dulled the crowd the last 3 innings.
Is this part of your speech?
Oh,
because I know you want it. Is this part of your speech?
That'll be in there. I gave it away.
It's a good tease.
Okay. That's not where I'm going to stop, though. I've got other ideas.
I like it.
A number out in front of the plate, and Cashner takes care of Crawford for the second out.
Dick, where do you stand on electronic strike zone?
I struggle with that. I think that's going too far. I like the umpire calling balls and strikes.
I'm in favor.
Well, then once you pass that line, then why not make everything electronic? Why not put robots everywhere and have this all? It's
he is out.
Let me tell us what you think.
That was a foul tip.
Tell me why you think electronic strike zone.
You can't argue balls and strikes anyway, so why not?
What's wrong with arguing?
I love the
You
arguments.
get tossed.
No, you won't get tossed.
You get
there's
tossed.
certain ways that you do it. The emotion side of baseball and
Because
sports
you know what?
in general
Because
is good.
If you gripe, the umpire's going to change. He's going to stick it to you, and then the strike zone's going to change more.
But that changes the dynamic of the game. I
Which
like
it
that.
shouldn't.
Why not?
Trying to make an imperfect world perfect, and we keep trying to do that, and it just doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen to you during the course of the day, nor to you, Mark Swinney, nor to me. There are things that aren't very perfect in our lives.
Isn't this the same guy that snapped in Seattle that time? The emotional side of the game?
Well, that's because I gave up a home run, which happened every outing.
Shot to right. Marlon Byrd continues to get more than his share of hits against Padre pitching. 2-out single. They'll bring up Kelby Tomlinson. But I would guess that Mark Grant, if he rallied pitchers, they would all agree with him. They would like to have the electronic strike zone because then there would be the consistency. Now you know what a strike is.
My first gut reaction would be yes. If I were to poll all the pitchers, what they would think they would be in favor of.
You got to remember the element, too, of the umpires and how frustrating this can be for them being perfect in their craft. Now, they're not just as much as baseball players are not perfect in their craft. I like the human element, and it's an argument. I think everyone sides differently. I like the argument. I don't like the replay because I don't like the manager going out there and not arguing a play.
He's got to challenge right away. I know I've got another idea in that regard, but I'll save it.
Oh, I love the ideas. You've got to. That's what's great about this game.
You think, though, about your idea to have the electronic strike zone. I mean, it's bad enough that third base umpire, at least now and then he can say he went around on a swing or has a play at third base. Now you got an umpire standing behind home plate the entire game hoping there's a play at the plate. That would be the only reason for him to be there is if there's a run scoring and a possible tag play.
He's got a green light and a red light in his mask.
Wow.
And the green light is a strike, and it's simultaneously to the pitch being thrown. Green light, strike. Red light, ball.
So how does he concentrate for three and a half hours on the play that Dick Enberg's talking about?
Play at the plate, you rip off the mask, you make the call, out or safe. It's going to be close. They're going to turn it over to the earmuffs anyway. Right?
Not all the time.
The hitter is Kelby Tomlinson. He walked the first time, and the count goes to 2-2.
As a hitter, you walked in and you dug into a batter's box and you watched the game and say you were up in the second inning and you knew it was a wide strike zone. That came into play.
Mm-hmm.
Your thought process had to change. Whether you had to be aggressive, swing early in the count.
Yeah, but isn't a strike a strike?
Yeah, I mean, there's frustration of it too. But the frustration comes because you're failing in this game. And if you look back at all the balls and strikes, there's going to be arguments on both sides.
You know, if you had that, I kind of like the red and green thing. It's kind of like a traffic light. If you don't know a yellow light comes on, and that's a caution, I'm about to make the call.
Well, I think there's a lot of fans out there that have seen a lot of yellow lights.
You've never tried to beat a yellow light. Don't tell me that.
Well, the next pitch for Andrew will be 80.
Another full count. He's walked 4, struck out 5. Bird off of the pitch. Wallace backs off behind him. And a chopper to the right side. Spangenberg has to hurry. This man can run. It gets him by a stride. Middle of the 4th at Petco. The Giants on 1 hit lead it 2 hits now, 2-0.
sister, Amy Christensen. Thanks so much for joining us. And you guys came to watch Andrew win the Padres nominee for Roberto Clemente Award. What does that mean to you to watch him win an award that's about charity?
Well, with the reason we started the foundation and everything that's gone on this year, it just is a wonderful way to end this year and begin my mom's new journey. And I'm just super proud of his accomplishments and what he's given back to everyone.
The foundation is the Kashner Family Foundation. The money goes to help kids who had to spend a lot of time in hospitals. I know you have some special stuff once baseball season wraps up and you guys finally get some free time. What are you guys looking forward to this off season with your foundation?
We have several events. Our biggest one is our golf tournament, our first annual, and that will be held back in Texas where we live. And then we have a couple other things that we're going to do here and there to raise money and try to be able to fund camps in for these kids that need the social and not be in that social isolation. So we're looking.
On behalf of all of us at Fox, our prayers go out to your mom, and thanks for everything that you guys have done.
We appreciate it.
Dick and Mud, back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Chris and Amy and Andrew Kashner.
Yeah, let's not forget, and I would like to hear you guys. You know, we look at Andrew Kashner, we look at Derek Norris, we look at Melvin Upton, we look at Justin Upton. We think these guys are superheroes.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, these guys have lives just like us. And I'm not going to make excuses for Andrew, but this kid's going through a lot with his mom battling leukemia.
Yeah.
That's not an easy road.
Now, we heard Dave Roberts, the bench coach, talk about it yesterday on our pregame. It was a soundbite of what Andrew Kashner goes through and what he has gone through and the emotion that it takes every single day, not only to come out every fifth day and pitch,
right,
but also give of yourself to the community and so many things Andrew Kashner and the others do in that locker room. You're afforded a lot of great things at the big league level, but what you can really do is give back to your community, and Andrew Kashner leads that charge.
Amen.
Here's Jerko with one out, ground ball to third. Duffy scoops and tosses across for the out. Wallace had popped high in the air to Duffy for the first out, so two gone here in the fourth. That brings up Derek Norris, who dumped a single into right field just over first baseman Posey's head and just out of the reach of the diving Tomlinson. Padres had two on with one out, couldn't score in the second. 2 runs in the very first inning. The Giants got walks from the leadoff man Pagan and the number 2 hitter Diaza. A ground out moved them to second and third, and with 2 outs, Brandon Crawford singled over Spangenberg's head to drive in 2, and that's the story so far. So Peavy, who allowed only 1 run up in San Francisco, he pitched 7 innings, 1 run, 2 hits, no walks, and struck out only 2, and he's continuing today. No runs and 3 hits so far. Slider 0-2.
Well, for Jake Peavy, just being aggressive right now and limiting those base runners. And you could see him being aggressive with the fastball, changing speeds.
He spiked that throw going back to the umpire. Well, he won the Cy Young wearing the San Diego uniform back in 2007. That brilliant 19-6 season. With the Padres in 8 years, logged 92 wins.
But not only is Brown going with the fingernail stickers, but he's going with the full-on paint on the whole digit 1 through 4.
Didn't miss my bunch. 1-2. And the Padres sent Peavy to the White Sox in 2009. They received 4 pitchers, 3 minor league pitchers, and Clayton Richard. Part of that trade was induced by dollars, and could they afford Peavy?
Yeah, late second deal by the Padres and the White Sox. Clayton Richard also in the big leagues this year with the Cubs.
Broken bat, sawed off, and Peavy will go to the bag himself and gets the out. Here's a pitcher giving it up to get an out, diving to first to beat Derek Norris, and the Padres are out in order. He's not afraid to get his uniform dirty. After 4, Giants 2, Padres nothing. Brought to you by Sequan Casino. Play, win together in the heart of San Diego. And by Jack in the Box. Taste the new spicy nacho chicken sandwich munchie meal tonight. I guess Mike Pomerantz is all over that munchie meal.
He loves the munchie meal.
Oh, full feed bag. Just strap that feed bag on and he just goes to chomping, doesn't he?
I think he says that you're the guy.
No. He's the crusher. Ah! Mike Pomerantz. He is the crusher. Is he not?
Listen, not this year. He's gone on a
whatever.
straight weight loss clinic.
He looks good.
Trevor Brown leads off the 5th inning with PV and then the leadoff man Pagan to follow. Brown struck out swinging the first time. One and one. Tomorrow, final game of the season between these two teams. An hour earlier than normal. It's a 6:10 start. We'll be on the air at 5:30 here on Fox Sports San Diego. And for you fans of outstanding pitching, you'll get to see Ian Kennedy on the hill for San Diego, and Madison Bumgarner will look for his 19th win of the year for the Giants. Bumgarner figures he's got tomorrow night and possibly 2 other starts to get to that 20-win mark. Remember the last time the Padres faced him, they didn't get a hit until the 8th inning. Melvin Upton, and he shut him out 8-0 on a one-hitter.
And you think about what Madison Bumgarner did last October, and then to have a season after that with all the expectations.
Cashner right back to the glove on the comebacker by Braun, 1 away.
But you think about the expectations and the level that he set last postseason with the win, and especially just putting the Giants on his back and establishing those highs and that feeling that the Giants were expecting when he's on the mound. He's a bona fide ace. He's one of the best left-handers in the game.
I'll be quite honest with you. After last year's performance, all those innings, I was expecting a hangover for Madison Bumgarner this year.
I agree.
He has not skipped a beat.
Yeah,
He accumulated over 260 innings or whatever, everything combined.
Yeah.
And with all the talk of Kershaw and Greinke down from San Francisco down to Los Angeles, you overlook the fact he's 18-8. High fly ball center field. Jankowski has a beat on it. And Peavy is out. His ERA, 2.84. He just is, you got your hands full when you step into the batter's box. How would you as a left-handed hitter want to face him?
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, that's the reason why you think of those established left-handers now. He and Kershaw, 1 and 2, and you can pick them that's in the game of baseball. You could probably put David Price in that category. But when you win a world championship the way that Madison Bumgarner did, and Clayton Kershaw, who has struggled on the postseason, now you're starting to say, listen, if Madison Bumgarner continues to be consistent, especially the year he's putting in this year, arguably you could say Madison Bumgarner overtakes Clayton Kershaw. What do you think?
In the National League?
Yeah.
Here's his record. He came up for half a season in 2010, went 7-6. Of course, they go on win the World Series. Then he goes 13-13, 16-11, another World Series, then 13-9, and another World Series last year, 18-10.
Yeah, the overshadowing of like a Kershaw is amazing. How he's just, you think of left-handers and everybody says Kershaw, but Madison Bumgarner, I tell you what, that's a pick-em as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
Don't you think?
Yeah, and I think Madison Bumgarner uses that as motivation. And you know, when you match up Clayton Kershaw and Madison Bumgarner, and I think Bruce Bochy knows the importance of having a guy at the top of your rotation that becomes that closer, and having that mentality of, listen, if we're going through a bad streak or a bad stretch, we have that guy that can shut that down.
Now, how about the money pitching in the World Series? In 2010, 1-0, did not allow a run. 2012, 1-0, didn't allow an earned run. Then last year goes 2-0, allowed just 2 earned runs, and then had that incredible performance in Game 7, and he doesn't get a win in that. It just comes in and it finishes the deal.
That was one of the most unbelievable performances I've ever witnessed.
Yeah. So he's on the mound tomorrow night. If you love baseball and love great pitching, that's a terrific ticket to have. If you can't bank it, we'll be on the air at 5:30. Pagan has walked and scored and struck out the last time, 3-2. And he walks again. So Cashner has given up his 6th base on ball this evening. And that brings up Piazza, who has walked both times he's faced Cashner tonight. .94 pitches. Also looking ahead to the weekend series with Arizona, chance to see a couple of the young arms for the Padres, Casey Kelly and Robbie Erlin. Kelly goes Friday night and Erlin, the lefty, on Saturday. With Shields 13-6 on the year, pitching on Sunday.
See Robbie Erlin on the right, Casey Kelly on the left, Yonder Alonso next to them, but opportunities. And I think Casey Kelly is an interesting arm moving forward.
Pagan in there with his 10th stolen base of the season. So a 2-out walk and steal. Pagan in scoring position for Piazza.
You see how quick the slap tag is here. Yeah, he's in there. Getting back to Casey Kelly, I like what I saw in Colorado. He was getting up on top of the baseball, getting good extension, good velocity, good breaking ball from Casey.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to actually see him spin that breaking ball. Very effective right-hander, very athletic right-hander.
Piazza sends it out to Upton in left field. That's the end of the 5th. We're at the halfway mark in this one. 4.5 in the books. 2-0 Giants.
photo, Mark Sweeney. You got to use the hashtag though. And what do you hashtag to?
Hashtag SD Data Strong Fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile.
Yeah, what a team we have here, huh?
It's incredible.
All the parts are interchangeable. We saw that last night.
Yeah.
Bill Walton took over play-by-play. Just anybody can do this job. Anybody. Travis Jankowski leads off the Padre fifth, trying to bunt his way on. Safe on the fielder's choice as first at bat.
You think of the maturation process for a Travis Jankowski. Obviously, offensively swinging the bat is important at this level, but with that speed, he's going to have to work on that this offseason, the bunting. Being very adept at moving it both to the third base side, deadening it to that side, but also taking it with him against left-handers. And I know Dave Roberts, the bench coach for the San Diego Padres, that's exactly what he did. He learned it from Maury Wills up in the Dodger organization.
Yeah, learning to bring that one with you down the first baseline, that takes a special technique.
Short one hopper to the second baseman Tomlinson, and he throws out Jankowski. One gone. Well, Peavy, just as was the case up in San Francisco, didn't walk anyone, struck out only 2. Tonight he's walked 1 and struck out 1, but getting outs. Cashner will hit here in the 5th. Grounded the ball sharply, but right to the third baseman Duffy, the only time up. So Peavy, part of the season for the Giants, along with all the other injuries that we've talked about. He missed May and June with back and hip problems. And here late in the season, seems to be coming around. He's not the same pitcher that won the Cy Young, but he's a very effective hurler.
Very effective pitcher, and he wills himself to, with that intensity. And Mark, he gets into that mode every 5th day, and he knows exactly what challenges are in front of him, but now the challenges are the reduced velocity in fastballs.
It's almost as if a pitcher reinventing himself, quite frankly. Jake used to throw mid-90s, right, or even harder, and then he had that biting slider, and when you throw only 90, you touch 91, you better hit your spots.
You got to hit your spots, and I think Jake could basically get behind a fastball and add velocity at times before, but you knew everything was going to be hard and everything had movement.
And that slider was just devastating when it was on back in the day.
A hit on the count to Cashner.
And you think about reinventing yourself, Mark, and my question to you as a pitcher, when does that time come? Is it velocity off of that?
I think it's velocity
on your fastball. And what
look at Trevor.
And what do you have to do? I mean, what are some of the initial things that you have to think of?
You better be able to throw your fastball 8 out of 10 times where you want it, I feel. You better be able, and that breaking ball is going to lose some bite too. And I think Jake would be the first one to admit that biting slider that he had, you better get that release point out in front just a little bit more so it's down and not hung. Before, when you throw that harder slider, you can hang it a little bit, you might get away with it. I think as time goes on, you hang it, you get in trouble with it. So 2 things. Throw it 8 out of 10 times for strikes, fastball, and you better make sure that breaking ball's down.
That's his second strikeout, 2 away here in the 5th.
And that's just through repetition and practice.
If you look at the velocity too, Dick, and you said it too, not that decrease of velocity in 2008. Remember, 2007 was a Cy Young Award year and fantastic year for Jake Peavy. But if you think of 3 or 4 miles an hour difference at times, from a hitter's perspective, you're seeing it longer. You're being able to determine that movement. The slider that Mark Grant talked about. It just puts him into play a little bit easier. But when you faced a Jake Peavy with that velocity, 94, 95 at times, It was intimidating, very intimidating, and you knew you had to gear up and get after it.
And part of his game certainly is his attacking approach, his demeanor on the mound. You know, there's young pitchers when they come up to the big leagues. You know, they're naturally somewhat tentative. They should take a video of Peavy and see how, you know, you get on that mound, you got to act as though nobody in the world's going to beat you.
Yep.
You know, and he carries that attitude, doesn't he?
He does, and I think he has that grit that everyone dies to have, and it's all right to throttle back at times, but when you have that intensity, especially on the mound, and willing himself to win without the great stuff, and at times when he doesn't have his great stuff, he still has the belief that he's the best pitcher out there.
1-2.
I said it on the pregame show. First and foremost, he's a tremendous teammate. And he knows how important that is, that factor, and how he lends himself in what Trevor Hoffman meant to him in his career when he came to the big leagues.
Solarte gets into that one. Bird has to chase back after it and can't get there. Up against the wall. Solarte into second base. And the Padres have the first extra base hit of the game. A 2-out double for Solarte. Fourth hit off Peavy tonight.
Well, after 2 quick outs here in the 5th inning, now it starts the 3rd time around against Jake Peavy. What are our opponents hitting the 3rd time around this year? 398. And Solarte hopefully starts a little 2-out thunder here. How about this swing, Mark?
Well, getting the foot down early, and you can see him taking advantage and looking for that ball in, middle in, and hitting this perfectly to right center gap. And the emotion of Yangervis Solarte, that's something you got to love. 32nd double of the season.
He now leads the team in doubles ahead of Derek Norris. Spangenberg is walked and grounded out to second.
Here's those numbers we were just talking about. First time, second time. Now with that Solarte double starts the 3rd time. 398 clip. Opponents hitting off Peavy 3rd time around.
Inefficient night. It's only 71 pitches, so he's been economical with that count. And 1-1 now to Spangenberg. Spangenberg got into one last night. He picked the Petco porch. Parachuted this one right down near the foul pole for number 4 on the season. Just a line single to center field would do the job here, get the Padres on the board. Only 2 runs last night on 6 hits in the 4-2 San Francisco win. 4 hits tonight off Peavy. Trying to cut into that 2-0 Giant advantage.
Well, with that lack of velocity that we saw on the graphic for Jake Peavy, what it means to me is it's a shorter leash for Bruce Bochy. When he comes into it, Bruce Bochy is very good, and we said it last night, very good at managing a bullpen. And he knows Jake Peavy's limitations at this point in his career.
Yeah, it's almost like a Greg Maddux effect. Remember Greg Maddux, he knew he was done. 85 pitches. You know, if he can get you into the 6th or 7th.
1 ball, 1 strike.
And, you know, that's part of the process of being a pitcher, a veteran pitcher. You know your limitations. And I'm sure Jake has sat down with Dave Righetti and Bruce Bochy and said, hey, guys, you know, when I start getting around 85 pitches or so, 80, might, you know, see how the hitters are reacting to my pitches. And it might be a time to get on that phone to get somebody loose.
There's that cutter coming in on the hands of Spangenberg. It would have been ball 3. Bottom of the 5th inning, 2-out double by Solarte as the Padres trying to get on the board, trailing 2-0. Upton and Wallace down the line. Kemp on deck. Padres come into the game, and the contrast in these two clubs is the fans unhappy with Brown going out to talk with Peavy. You think of all the teams that are big hitting lineups in the National League, but the Giants have the best team batting average of anyone in the National League. The Padres are at the other end. They have the worst team batting average. 244 for the Padres. The Giants are hitting as a club 268.
Well, and both considering too that they're both pitchers' ballparks. So those numbers do surprise me a little bit.
Yeah, 12th in home runs for the Giants. They're not a home run hitting team.
Down goes Panchenberg on a changeup. So Brown goes out to talk it over with Peavy. They came up with the right formula, and the Padres are out in the 5th. Four hits and 2 runs, absorbs a loss. 10-11 his record. Here's Kastner tonight. 2 runs on 2 hits. The runs were too many walk to start the game, and Crawford's timely single. That's been the offensive story of the game. As we go to the 6th, Duffy, Posey, Crawford lined up for the Giants. Duffy 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout. He had a miserable night last night, struck out 4 times, all 4 at bats. So 6 outs made by Duffy in the 2 games, 5 times striking out. Broken bat, 1 hopper to Jerko at short. 1 away.
Time now to check the Ram Trucks tools of the trade, and we're going to talk about all-star first baseman / catcher Buster Posey. Look at Andrew Kasher getting him way out front in the slider, and I'd like to talk to Mark Sweeney about this. You know, you talk about a guy, Buster Posey's 5th in hits in the National League, 3rd in the NL with a .327 batting average, the on-base percentage at .390. He's made some good pitches getting him out front on that slider, Mark Sweeney.
Yeah, and coming into this series, it was word that Buster Posey was having some problems with his lower half, his leg area, so you wonder if that really comes into play. Because if you don't have your lower half to stabilize that swing, and we've already documented how nice of a swing Buster Posey has, but that you'll start cheating a little bit, and things will start working, and you can see going on that pitch, not being able to hold your ground, and it doesn't feel the same. And that's not a good feeling if you're in the batter's box.
Kastner trying to give the Padres 6 innings. Sepchinski and Vincent warming up behind him.
You know, to your point, Mark, though, it's not taking away from how Andrew Kastner is. If you know that coming into it, and they try to limit the information that you're getting on Buster Posey, secondary stuff is really going to work. Set up the secondary stuff with that fastball in to try to speed him up a little bit.
That 33 pitch first inning really taking its effect on the total count, hasn't it? Now up to 100. 101. Foul ball. So the National League batting champion, of course, last year was Justin Morneau, often forgotten, the Colorado Rockies first baseman winning the title. This year, it appears that it's in the grasp of Bryce Harper. Harper starting the action today has a significant lead, 342 over D. Gordon, hitting 330. Line drive caught by Solarte. That was hooking, might even have been foul. But Solarte takes care of business, 2 away.
Well, he's gotten them out a couple times already tonight, Posey. So the soft stuff, right? Why not? Now what is he doing? Down and away, dicing it, down and in. Down and away. There's the slider down in the dirt. Can't get on top of that riding fastball out in front. And that, Mark Sweeney and Dick Enberg, is
a hang with him.
Believe it.
A nice play by Solarte going to his right.
So 2 gone here in the Giants' 6th, and Brandon Crawford has accounted for both runs in the game. A 2-out, 2-run single in the first inning.
I think Andrew did a nice job. In and out, in and out, in and out, soft. And you know what? That's going to happen sometimes. They square it up, but it's right at the guy.
And again, the run support not there for Cashner. Of all the National League pitchers, he has received the 4th lowest runs throughout this season, and nothing tonight. Ahead of Crawford, 2 strikes.
Almost looks like Crawford is sitting on a breaking ball here. The secondary pitch. First pitch was a changeup, and that was a breaking ball.
And his 2-run single was a fastball. What, 98?
98. Yep. Yep.
So he must have been looking fastball there with runners at second and third. Pittsburgh got another handful of runs late, leading at Colorado. They're not done yet. Texas is ahead of Oakland 7-1. Another foul. Rangers and Will Venable battling for a playoff spot. And trying to win that American League West, with Houston losing tonight. Texas winning. Should the Rangers go on to victory, they'll open a 3-game lead over Houston.
Oh,
that's a good pitch, but no call from Surewater.
Wow. Sometimes you'll even fake out the umpire. This is a nice biting slider. Watch him get on top of it. Watch Derek Norris stick it. Wow. Good pitch. How do you miss that? Electronic strike zone.
Oh, stop.
See, that would be confusing. It'd be a green light, red light, and then probably a yellow.
That would have been a yellow.
Yep.
That's dramatic.
1-2. Still 95 on the fastball.
Oh, you think about the pitch, and Derek Norris 2 pitches ago wanted it up, and Andrew Cashner getting it down where you can handle that pitch. Just locating the balls out of the strike zone is important too.
Strike 3 swinging. Strikeout for Cashner is his 6th of the game, probably his last pitch of the night. Padres trailing 2-0. Need to go to work. Matt Kemp, Justin Upton, Brett Wallace to hit in the home half of the 6th. Hits, and today's base trip brought to you by Northrop Grumman. Tonight's group, Marine Aerial Refueler Transport Squadron. Great to have you here tonight. It's such an interesting part of the U.S. Air Force, so refueling at midair.
It's unbelievable.
Well, Jake Peavy's working up a lather tonight, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Look at you can see the color of his jersey, and then that slide over at first base is going to turn that dirt into a little bit of mud there on that jersey.
No runs, 4 hits allowed by Peavy tonight after going 7 innings up in San Francisco with just the 1 run, the home run by Upton, and only 2 hits that night. Kemp has one of the 4 Padre base hits, a single to left field his last time. The shot went under the glove of Duffy at third.
2 sliders in a row, 2 cutters if you want to call it that. And once again, great location. Back to what you were saying, Mark. If you're going to lose some velocity on that little bit of bite, you better get it down and away, and that's exactly those first 2 pitches there.
Well, you've seen it the last 2 nights, too. The San Francisco Giants have tried to dominate that outside part of the plate, especially to the right-handers, and they're going back there again.
What is it about Peavy in the month of September? If you go back 2013, 14, and then this year, he's 7-0.
Yeah, and I think if you understand Jake Peavy as a person, the mentality is start and finish strong.
Exactly.
And grind it out in the middle of the season.
Right back to the mound. A nice one hopper for Peavy and an easy play at first. Kept going. Here's Upton.
I think the challenges have been for Jake Peavy as Javi Lopez warms in the Giants bullpen of understanding how to maintain, especially after injuries. Injuries have really plagued Jake Peavy in his career.
Remember he had that fractured shoulder blade of all things?
Didn't he have a muscle rip off a bone in his shoulder blade area in the back?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking, yeah.
It was like one of the first couple that's ever happened. I mean, ripping a muscle off a bone in your back.
Well, I think the major injury for him was the ankle problem that he had.
That's true, yeah.
The intense way in which he plays the game at times opens the door to injury. Upton is lined to deep right. Bird going into the wall to make a catch back in the first inning, and he fouled out the shortstop the last time. Oh, 0-2. Kemp core there. Rooting for the Bison.
Guys, this isn't from memory. I'm looking in the Giants media guide, but Jake Peavy suffered a detached latissimus dorsi muscle in his right posterior shoulder. Ouch, babe.
How do you even do that?
That's some serious torque on the arm, and then ripping something out in the back on your right side.
And he gets Upton to chase. 4th strikeout for Peavy tonight. That'll bring up Brett Wallace. He struck out and popped up.
Looked like a little cutter or slider, Mark Sweeney.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch, and he's really dominated that outside part of the plate to his glove side. And the Padres, especially the right-handed hitters, are going to have to make that adjustment moving forward if Jake Peavy stays in this game.
You can hear Peavy on the release of the ball barking out all the way up here in the press box. Let's see if we can hear him this time. I think what he was trying to say, we couldn't quite hear it, was our closed captioning is presented by Wiener Schnitzel. Never know. I think it's more on the fastballs that you hear the grunt, huh? 1-2 to Wallace. Nice turnout again on this Wednesday night. The Padres have already exceeded last year's total attendance with 7 more home games left after tonight. There you heard the little bark at the 91-mile-an-hour fastball. 2-2. Corey Guerin getting loose. High in the air to left field. Just missed that one. Diaza squeezes the final out, and Peavy through 6th innings, 4-hit shutout. 2-0 Giants. And Russell Martin ties into one, and that home run hitting Blue Jay outfit has blanked the Yankees tonight 4-0. So a look at our National University standings in the American League. Toronto leading the Yankees by 3.5. Kansas City coasting for the last half of the season. Texas in the Battle of Texas. The Rangers ahead of Houston, and Texas is winning, so they could be 3 up. And look at the wild card. New York and Houston now would play in the wild card, but Minnesota, as you mentioned, Mark Grant, lurking along with the Angels.
That is a great race, a 4-team race in that wild card. And when you look at the Houston Astros, boy, the bullpen has really faltered over the month of September. Worst bullpen. I mean, their ERA is like over 6. Really struggling right now.
And sadly, the Padres truly uncharacteristically second worst bullpen to Houston in the National League, and Nick Vincent and company trying to do something about that. They'll face Marlon Byrd, Kelby Tomlinson, and Trevor Brown for the Giants in the 7th. Our El Cajon Ford pitching change.
Well, for Nick Vincent, it's to hold these Giants at 2. Andrew Cashner really battled tonight. Only 2 runs in the first inning.
His own undoing. Those 2 walks came around to score, and that's it. 2 runs on only 2 hits. 5 strikeouts, 6 walks. Mick hit 5 walks and 6 strikeouts. Slider away. So he pitched well enough to win, but it's been the story all season long for Cashner. No support.
Yep.
Two and 1. Bird has one of the 2 hits given up by Cashner. The other back in the first inning, a hit that really counted, Crawford's 2-run single. 2-2 to Bird.
Nice cut fastball from Nick Vincent. He'll throw that cutter, the slider, the changeup.
Bud Norris getting loose. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Vincent with his first strikeout. The attendance tonight, 23,556.
Hey, Nick Vincent breaking out the changeup to Marlon Byrd for the strikeout.
And with all the strikeouts last night and again tonight, 6 by Cashner and now the 7th for Vincent, this Padres staff has struck out more batters than any in history. And it begs the question, maybe strikeouts are overrated. Huh?
It's a lot of swings and misses.
It's a lot of pitches thrown.
Yes, it is.
2-0 to Trevor Brown, who struck out and bounced to the mound. So with the crowd tonight, the Padres are at 2,234,000. Good fastball there at 90.
Yeah, the old left-hander, Randy Jones on the left. Cy Young Award winner. Oh, Mr. Ron Fowler.
Executive chairman, former catcher back in his Minnesota
Yeah.
days. 2-2.
Hey, Nick's got the crosshairs working tonight. Throwing that 90-mile-an-hour fastball down and away for a strike and flipping up that cutter and changeup nicely. Nice.
Strike 3 called. A couple of punch outs. Bird and Tomlinson for Vincent here in the 7th inning.
Hey, October means baseball, and FS1 continues to be your home for postseason action with the American League Division and Championship Series. Don't miss a moment of the drama and history. It all begins October 8th. Mark it down, October 8th on FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Isn't that a distraction when all those fireworks go off and around the mound there? And
I think it is. But an advantage pitcher.
But, well, it's.
I think they should incorporate that along with the electronic strike zone. Fireworks behind the pitcher.
Get those one, you know, the spinners,
Yeah,
where it spits out the sparks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, put one right behind the mound there, where they have the little scraper and the rosin back.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
And you can only use it like once an inning,
that's right.
like for one hitter.
We'll see what the hitting core can come up with to counter that. Trevor Brown. It's 1-2, and Vincent a pitch away from striking out the side.
Hey, how about maybe one at bat during a game where you can go up there with a loaded bat, like a cork bat? Hey, I want to use my cork bat this at bat.
You actually have to announce it.
Yeah, you have to announce it. It's the only time you get to use it.
2 balls and 2 strikes. 7th inning, 2-0 Giants. You have to go all the way back to the start of the game to find the scoring. Starting the game, Pagan walked, then Diaz walked, a couple of outs, and Crawford with a 2-out single. Fly ball to right. Kemp comes up and collects the final out in the 7th.
Great inning for Nick Vincent there.
Bunch outs of Bird and Tomlinson on the way to the 1-2-3 inning. Bottom half, Jed Jerko leading it off for the Padres. Walks to Pagan. Diaz there, second and third. Brandon Crawford with 2 outs brings in both of them, and that's the scoring in the game. 2-0. Jake Peavy then hanging on to that lead all the way through 6 innings of pitching, allowing no runs and only 4 hits. Walked 1 and struck out 4. And he leaves the game. And another terrific performance by Peavy against the Padres in the 2 weeks of September. Here's Corey Guerin for the Giants, only his fourth outing of the season.
Well, they've got a boatload of arms down there in that bullpen for Bruce Bochy.
1 2/3 innings in those 3 games. No runs, no hits for Guerin.
3-pitch pitcher, and as you see there, this 4th game, small sample size. 3 strikeouts in 1 2/3 innings pitch. Fastball, slider, changeup. 89-94 on the fastball. Big Boach just sitting down there trying to hold this 2-0 lead here. Come on, Corey.
29-year-old Guerin, he's been around the Atlanta Braves the last 3 years. Jerko on his birthday, a single and a ground out. Up the middle, and the birthday man has his second base hit. Greets Guerin, and that'll bring the tying run to the plate here in the 7th. A couple of singles for Jet Jerko. And look now at the UPS store in-game box score. Solarte with a double, the only extra base hit in the game. Kemp a single, a pair of bingles by Jerko, and Norris with a single.
All right.
They don't say bingles anymore. I remember back at a time when it was kind of a combination base hit and single, and they called it a bingle.
Really? I never heard that one.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to yesteryear.
Yeah. A safety. I remember those.
Right, safeties, yeah. Called them bingles, safeties.
You watch the old clips back in like the 30s and 40s. And Jerko sends a safety into center field.
Josh Osich, hard throwing left-hander. Norris a bloop single, and they hit that ball behind the mound that Peavy was able to intercept and then dive at first base before Norris arrived. Most interesting play of the night. Leadoff single, Jerko. First time tonight the Padres have had the leadoff man on. Two balls and a strike to the Padre catcher. Breaking ball hangs inside, and it's 3-1. Hunter Pence, how they miss his presence on the field. Team leader. Three balls and a strike. Tied him up with a fastball at 92.
Good run fastball. Guerin with that low 3/4 arm angle. Runs the ball in. See how low that arm angle? Almost sidearm on the two-seamer. Tough to square that one up.
Would have been ball 4, but tough to lay off. It looks like a pitch right down the middle, and then it carves its way inside. So full count. Jerko with his lead at first, no one out. And ball 4. The Padres have the first 2 men aboard here. The tying run at first, carried by Norris, and Jankowski comes up.
Tomorrow on Aztec Football with Rocky Long, experience the traditional Warrior Walk from the player's perspective, plus a look back at Marshall Faulk's appearance in the Daily Aztec. And Coach Long gives his expert analysis on Saturday's matchup against Penn State.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, tomorrow after Padres Live right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
The Nittany Lions and the Aztecs. Well, that'd be a big win if they could come back home and take Penn State out. Huh?
Oh, that's at home, not Happy Valley?
It's at Happy Valley.
Is it?
Yeah. So Bruce Bochy to the mound. He can't like what he sees from Guerin, who gives up a hit to Jerko and walks Norris. He's going to double switch here. Osich comes in, the left-handed pitcher, and Jarrett Parker will go into right field. The Rockies in Pittsburgh up at Coors Field, and the Pirates victorious in a football score 13-7, and that clinches a playoff spot for the Buccos. And they have a 3-game lead over the Cubs. The Cubs, the second team in the wild card position, and closer and closer to eliminating the Giants from any wild card considerations, but they still could go after the Dodgers, hoping that they get help from elsewhere and they can continue their winning ways. Here's Osich, 29th appearance. Like what we've seen of him in the past, he's hard throwing. Jarrett Parker replaces Bird in right. So Parker will probably be inserted in the 9th spot in the batting order and will be first up in the top of the 8th. Jankowski with runners at first and second, no one out, and Will Myers in the starting lineup, and then scratch, soreness in that wrist, but obviously okay after some treatment. Looks like Will be the hitter to follow. Two and 0. Giant pitching here, working themselves into trouble with a 2-0 lead. Single walk, and now Jankowski with the count 2-0.
Well, with both corners crashing, got to deaden that bunt just perfectly, not too hard, because depending on how hard that bunt is bunted, Duffy could retreat back to third base for the force play. That ball came off that bat hot. We saw some pretty good numbers from Osich this year. 3-pitch pitcher, fastball, cutter, changeup. This left-hander can get up now to 99. He's mid-90s consistently or higher.
Trying to move the runners into scoring position. Get that tying run at second. And he jabs at that foul. Jankowski was worked hard on his bunting, especially for base hits. Unable to get one down safely And the count's 2-2.
See, does he poke at it? Yeah, he pokes at it rather than letting the ball come to the bat. Catch the ball with the baseball bat.
Is he still bunting?
I would think so.
Hasn't given up his hand yet. Now he does. And takes ball 3. Interesting now. Full count. Might be tempted, Pat Murphy, to give him the green light. Let him go. Carter Strickland pitched last night. Gave up the home run to Spangenberg. You got those 2 corner infielders in tight. Some hitting room for Jankowski if he's swinging. He is. And fouls that in and out of the glove. That was almost strike 3. Brown couldn't squeeze it.
Look at that fastball right down the middle. And in and out.
Just spun its way right out of the leather.
A new life for Travis.
Full count. And another foul. Osich working his way to the big club. He was a 6th-round pick of the Giants 4 years ago, as you look at Myers on deck. College pitcher at Oregon State, so he's accustomed to wearing that black and orange uniform. Product of Boise, Idaho. Struck him out.
There's that cutter. Pretty good pitch.
So Jankowski unable to move the runners along, strikes out. Here's Will Myers.
Cut fastball out of the hand of Osich. Perfectly executed, perfectly located.
Right on the outside corner. Myers took a lot of extra hitting off the tee early today. Maybe too much, and he came up a little sore. Went in, got some treatment, and feels okay, ready to swing the bat. Big opportunity here for the Padres, trailing 2-0. There's Myers' numbers with 8 home runs. Ball 1. It's only his 2nd pinch hitting appearance. Myers 0 for 1. Top of the order to follow Solarte. Said September 4th when he came off the disabled list. 3 home runs and 8 runs batted in.
Got to be careful. Lefty like Osich into a righty Myers. You leave that breaking ball, kind of speeds up his bat. Even the cutter. You know, as I mentioned, he throws consistently 96. You throw that breaking ball that kind of comes in and speeds up Myers' bat. That spells trouble if he hangs that over the heart of that plate. That's why it's important from a pitcher standpoint, down and in, maybe towards that back foot, or down and away with a changeup.
Takes the fastball at 90.
That was the cut fastball there. It looked like maybe even a slider that caught a lot of the plate, and Will could have probably done some damage with it.
Jerko a leadoff single out at second. Norris with a walk. 1 out. And down he goes. So Osich fans Jankowski and Myers. And to the top of the order, it's up to Jan Solarte. Flat out twice and doubled.
After the slider / cutter, he goes to the changeup down and away, and judging by that swing, yes, definitely fooled Will Myers way out in front of it. Once again, good location from Osich.
Trying to bail out Corey Guerin, who gave up the first 2 base runners without an out. He comes in to punch out Jankowski and Myers. Solarte batting right-handed the first time tonight. Outside corner, strike one.
They've gotten a call there.
He did.
It was on the corner, all right. 16th and Imperial.
That's a better pitch there, and he gets called to the ball.
Guess
so
it all evens out, right?
Yeah.
Fox Tracks brought to you by Nissan. Got some shutter bugs here.
Try to time that to see a line drive off the bat of Solarte. There it is, right center field. That drops and it's on its way up the alley. Might get 2 in. Jerko has scored, and here comes Norris to score, and the Padres tie it at 2. Solarte delivers again, his second double tonight. His 60th and 61st runs batted in.
That is a great at-bat by Yangervis Solarte. The pitch is up. He gets enough of top hand. Hey, shoot it where it's pitched. Don't try to pull that ball. With the way the defense rolls all the way to the wall. Hey, get on your horse. Get on your caballo. And we are tied.
A double left-handed, a double right-handed for Jan Solarte. And we've got a new ball game here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Tied at 2. Chance for the lead. Corey Spangenberg. A lefty against lefty. Ball 1, 95 in the fastball.
Well, look at where the glove of Brown is. Now when you roll it, where is he going to hit it? Oh, he gets up on top of it. You get extended. That barrel of the bat doesn't have to travel as far. Bingo, double.
Outside, 2-0. Matt Kemp would be next.
Now wake up this crowd a little bit late in this ball game.
Fouled back at 95. Spangenberg a walk, a ground out, and a strikeout tonight. Kemp one of 2 Padres in the starting lineup with a birthday. He and Jerko. Jerko's done his part. 2 hits. He in 3 at bats. Kemp has a hit. Kastner's off the hook. And so is Peavy. Hutchison going out to see what's wrong with Solarte.
Jose Valentin out there translating for Todd Hutchison, the trainer of the Padres.
Something wrong with his wheels. He's going to come out. Let's hope this is not serious. Didn't seem to be, but the highs and lows of the game. He delivers the 2-run double to tie the game. Now Clint Parmes will go in to run for him. So as he rounded first, heading to second, and took an awkward step. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
That was half excitement and tying the game, and half no, that didn't feel good.
Well, I remember on last road trip, there was a little bit of a tweak in his leg there when he was running the bases. So, hey, it's better to be, taken out and get it taken care of right now rather than to push it.
So Barmas running, and a swing and a miss, 2-2 now to Spangenberg. Go ahead score, Barmas out at second. And the count full. Both runs charged to Corey Guerin, who didn't get an out. Hit one hit and one walk. Both came around to score. Ball 4, and Spangenberg walks for the second time tonight. That's a big at bat. Left-hander against left-hander. First walk from Osich, and here's Matt Kemp and Bruce Bochy on a counter with a right-handed pitcher. The third used here in the inning. And it looks like it'll be Hunter Strickland in for the Giants. He pitched last night. The Padres with 2 on, 2 in, a 2-2 tie.
The T-Mobile Data Strong fan photo. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag SD Data Strong Fan. Might just see yourself on an upcoming broadcast. And it's brought to you by T-Mobile. So Todd, thank you very much. At Padre 19 fan.
Obviously a Twin admirer as well.
Yes. Oh, I love the homemade. Hey, that's Lupe. Big time Padre fan. Lupe and her son Jose come to every game, and that's a homemade sign. Happy birthday. Feliz cumpleaños.
Yeah, she knows her Padres.
Oh, yeah.
Ready for the birthday. So here's Kemp. A single and 3 at bats with 2 on, 2 out, 2 in. And Hunter Strickland making his 52nd appearance. .97 on the first fastball. Backs him off. Barmas at second, the tiebreaker. Spangenberg at first. A couple of walks and a couple of hits here in the 7th inning to tie it. The 2-run double by Solarte, getting the Padres even. Way outside, 2-0. Justin Upton would be next. high fly ball to center. Pagan with an easy play, eases into right center, and that'll do it for the Padres, but they do get 2 and tie it up. The big blow, Jan Solarte, right center, double, brings home both Jerko and Norris, and we're tied at 2.
The 8th inning, Mark and I are working on Padres Live, the post-game show, which will be brought to you by Cox Communication. John Hervis, Solarte, a couple of doubles tonight.
Mike, he's got his hitting shoes on tonight, both from the left side and the right side. But you see the first one, the left side, shopping in the gap, and then turning him around with a left-hander. The hitting shoes are on tonight for Solarte.
Would have been a good pick and pick the stick, wouldn't it? Just saying. A couple of RBIs for Jan Hervis. He's left the game. Something seemed to be bothering him. We'll try to get an injury update for you on Padres Live, the post-game show. Also, we'll take you all around the league and show you some of the highlights, the games of consequence. And you're going to hear from the Padres interim manager, Pat Murphy. All that and more coming up after the final out. Dick Enberg and Mark Grant. Guys.
All right. Thanks, Mike and Mark. Here we go. 8th inning, Joaquin Benoit. His 65th appearance of the year. Hasn't had a lot of work, nor has Kimbrel of late, so he's come on in a 2-2 tie. They will face Jared Parker, then the top of the order, Pagan and Diaza. Change in the infield. Barmas stays in at short. That moves Jerko to second. Spangenberg from second to third, replacing Solarte. Saw Parker last night, a base hit. He's had only 18 at bats with 5 hits, a home run. And he hits it deep to left field into the corner. Not a lot of room now for Upton. Can he get there? Gone. Parker, one swing, 3-2 San Francisco. Boy, Bruce Bochy pushing the right buttons again. Kid just up from the minors. Boy, he's strong. That ball jumping off his bat.
Opposite field power on the Joaquin Benoit fastball. Just didn't get it on the corner enough off the first basket of the Western Metal Supply Company building. Remember, Benoit throws mid-90s. You get that barrel out there elevated, you could take it the opposite way, and that's exactly what Parker did. Towards the shortest part of the ballpark down that left field line.
Benoit touched up for the 7th time this year. So the Padres battling away in the 7th to get the couple of walks, a couple of hits to tie the game, and Parker just inserted. Homers the opposite way. Parker called up from the AAA club Sacramento here in September. Pagan lifts it behind short, shallow left. Upton for the first out here in the 8th. And our game tonight is presented in HD by Sony. Checking on how Parker fared in AAA ball, he hit .283 with 23 home runs. So yes, he does have big time power. Diaza walked twice and fly to left. Home run measured at 348 feet down in that left field corner. Another chance for Upton near the line. 3 straight balls hit to left, 1 out of the park and 2 into the glove of Justin Upton. That'll bring up Matt Duffy.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Duffy has grounded out twice and struck out. He's wearing the collar in the series. 0 for 7 with 5 strikeouts.
Well, nobody likes giving up home runs. Nobody likes giving up the lead. So how do you measure a good pitcher? You try to forget about it, erase it from your drive, and get 3 quick outs. Lead off home run, 2/3 of the way there for Joaquin Benoit.
And a roller left side, cut off by Spangenberg on the run, throws him out. Good play. 1, 2, 3 after the Parker solo home run. It's 3-2 Giants. Mercury Insurance. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com and see how much you could save. By Petco, what we feed them matters. And by Sony Action Cam. Prove yourself. Jan Solarte's second double of the night. It tied at 2-2 in the 7th. Jared Parker home run for the Giants in the top half of this 8th inning to make it 3-2. And here come the Padres against Sergio Romo.
And we know all about it, Mr. Slider. We saw Sergio Romo last night in the 8th inning. 1 inning, he gave up a hit. He struck out 1 Padre. Only 9 walks. He is a strike thrower. And look at that, 67 strikeouts in 52 1/3 innings.
Even though you know the slider's coming.
Yeah. Just kind of floats up there, but good break to it. And he can hit those crosshairs with the best of them.
Generously listed at 5'11", Romo. He's one of the smallest relief pitchers in baseball. He got that wicked big breaking slider. Word from the Padre clubhouse on Solarte, right hamstring strain, not serious. And Upton pulls one foul.
Oh. Got to get down in front of that one.
Upton flirted with extra bases his first time up, sent Bird, the right fielder at the time, into the wall to capture his drive. Fouled out and struck out since. Wallace and Jerko to follow here in the Padre eighth. Padres have had a winning record this year in one-run games, 20-19. Close games counting the two-run decisions, 39-33. They've had their way in the tight battles, but they trail tonight 3-2 here in the eighth. Dodgers have won. They beat Arizona tonight 4-1. Left center, not hit very well. Can it drop? Pagan runs it down again. How many times have we seen Pagan chase down dying fly balls? He gets such a good break.
And that ball just hanging up there just enough for Angel Pagan, where that first step pays off, and then at the last second extends to his right.
Time now for our Fan Diego fans of the game, wishing Matt Kemp a happy birthday. It's 31st.
Love the homemade signs. Thank you, Padre fans. Showing some love for Matt Kemp.
Brett Wallace homered last night. He has struck out, popped up, flied out tonight. Wallace getting a start at first base, takes a pitch up in the letters, strike one. Line drive, left field, base hit. Over to cut it off is Diaza. Wallace takes a big turn and will hold. A one-out single, tying run on against Romo. Wallace continues to get his base hits.
Nice job by the big boy going the opposite way against Romo.
Padres about hit the Giants tonight, 7-3, but trail where it counts, 3-2. Got two-seamer tailing away. Yep. Went right with the pitch.
Well, we know that the numbers for Romo are pretty darn good, but his kryptonite is left-handed hitters. Lefties are hitting 350 off the right-hander.
Jerko with a couple of singles on his birthday, number 27. Norris on deck. And the next left-handed hitter in the lineup, in the hole, Jankowski. Lays off 2-0. Benoit giving up the tie-breaking home run to Parker. Craig Kimbrell hopes he gets a chance for a save in the top of the ninth. That's the way you treat Romo's slider off the plate. 3-0. As you would say, if you expect it, then expect to rate it.
That's right. Absolutely. Good call, Professor. Well, they're playing Jed Jerko pretty much straight up. I mean, Pagan, you could draw a line. Home plate, pitcher's mound, second base, Pagan. Some room in the gaps.
And he takes all the way, 3-1.
There. Now Pagan looks like moving over a couple of steps, just a little bit that way.
Bumgarner will be on the mound tomorrow night. Three and two. And that's a good pitch. Fox Tracks brought to you by Nissan.
Yeah, he'll sneak that little piece of cheese by you, and it's only going to be 86, 87. He's not throwing that hard, but once again, the control. And Dick, as you mentioned, the Fox Tracks, pretty accurate.
Right there at the knees. That's a pitcher's pitch. So full count to Jerko. And he lines it into left field for a base hit. That moves Wallace up 90 feet. 3 hits tonight for Jed Jerko. He indeed has had a good birthday base night. 3 for 4. Tying run on. Jerko represents the go-ahead score.
And Jed Jerko, if he comes around to score, as you mentioned, the go-ahead, that would be icing on that cake.
Yes, it would. I like that transition, and he's pounded the ball well all night. 8 hits now for the Padres, only 3 for the Giants. Norris has been on base twice with a loop single and a walk, scored one of the 2 runs.
Hey, and Derek Norris, he's Mr. Doubles. Be nice to order up a double right here. Yo, bartender, I'll have a double.
Where's that bartender? He's been kind of elusive here this year.
Yeah.
Maybe got your attention there and your signal. Norris has given up the doubles lead to Solarte with a couple of doubles tonight. Solarte now with 33, breaking the tie with Norris. Each had 31 coming in. There's that slider, perfectly thrown, breaking from inside corner to the outside corner. Javier Lopez and Mike Broadway, the right-hander. The left-hander Jankowski do next. You figure they're going to go to Lopez to pitch to him, and of course then it's up to Pat Murphy to counter with a right-handed bat. Melvin Upton has one of his favorite sticks right there at his side. Slow roller to short. Crawford across for the out as the runners move up. So with 2 out, tying run at third, winning or potential winning run at second, and Jankowski the scheduled hitter. Let's see what Bruce Bochy does. Walked him. Gave him the 4. That'll bring up the 9th spot in the batting order, currently occupied by Benoit. Jankowski. Takes a strike. It looked as if Bochy maybe throwing a little fake out there. You're going to walk him and he gets a quick strike, but maybe that's just a pitch around him. Bochy looking as if did somebody not get my signal here? Melvin Upton has moved into the on deck circle, so as we surmised, he would bat next. Line drive base hit. Past third. Tying run scores Wallace. Go-ahead score. 4-3 double Jankowski as he brings home both Wallace and Jerko, and the Padres reclaim the lead. Well, they didn't pitch to around Jankowski, and he makes them pay for it.
Mentioned it earlier. Left-hander is hitting off Sergio Romo at a .350 clip. Brett Wallace is sitting singles. There is a slider that just stays over the heart of the plate. And look at how far off Duffy is the bag. Splits the difference. And the Friars take the lead.
Melvin Upton called back. And the hitter will be Dickerson. And Bruce Bochy. It'll be interesting to get to Bochy after this game, because he certainly gave the four-finger sign as if to say, don't put him on.
Sure did.
And they pitched to him, and Jankowski able to rifle that double past third base, and the Padres take a 4-3 lead. Pitching change. We'll be right back to Petco. A left-handed hitter having their way with right-hander Romo. We thought that Bochy said forward. That's usually the signal. Put him on.
Yep. And
they don't.
And you know what's amazing, Dick? With the control of Sergio Romo that he has had, that pitch over the heart of the plate with first base open, you think he's going to pitch around him, right? Well, it just amazes me how Sergio Romo with pinpoint control with all of his pitches, and it's evident in the numbers. He makes a big-time mistake, and the rookie Jankowski plays it perfectly.
Knocks in his 7th and 8th runs of the season, and the Padres with a 4-3 lead. In comes Javier Lopez, the veteran left-hander, his 71st appearance.
So in the time we saw Bochy give the 4, there might have been a time when they said, you know, Bochy took it off.
Now here it is the 4.
Yeah.
Normally you don't bring in a pitcher and immediately walk the hitter, but Melvin Upton. So the Padres have to use 2 players in this position without getting to swing the bat. Alex Dickerson was up. So by bringing in Lopez, Murphy countered with the right-hander Upton. So they're 2 gone off the Padre bench, and Upton on the intentional walk. And we go to the top of the order. Barmes is in Solarte's spot. Solarte leaving the game with that mild hamstring pull after back-to-back doubles. One double knocking in the 2 to tie at 2. Now Jankowski a 2-run double the lead. And so Lopez comes in to throw 4 wide ones, an intentional pass. That's his job tonight. And Bochy, wearing a pat to the mound, goes to the bullpen again. 4 wide ones to put Upton aboard, and now changes pitchers, and Mike Broadway comes in, the right-hander.
Yeah, Broadway is pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher. Fastball slider, mid-90s. Averages the 4-seamer about 96.
Born in Paducah, Kentucky. I wonder if they have a Broadway in Paducah Street. He's 6'5" and 215. 28 years of age.
Well, Clint Barmasu has good bat control. See if he can get a fastball up. Try to hit something through that big hole in that right side.
Jankowski with the 2-run double at second base. Upton at first. 94 on his first sling. And Craig Kimbrell getting ready. Another fastball. So Benoit gives up the lead, and then the Padres come back to rally here in the 8th. So Benoit a chance to scrape up a win tonight.
Thanks to that kid right there. It's a good at bat, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Two balls and a strike to the veteran Barmas. First at bat of the night. Well, the Giants got 2 in the first on a 2-run single by Brandon Crawford. Padres finally got 2 in the 7th on the 2-run double by Solarte to tie it. Fly ball to left. Diaz there. And the inning comes to an end, but the Padres come back with 2 on the double by Jankowski. It's a 4-3 game, and Kimbrell coming in to lock up the win. They didn't walk Jankowski, and he said, I'm going to run a double. 4-3. Oh, play of the game. They don't walk Jankowski, and he punches a double down the left field side, and that drives in 2. And the Padres take the lead 4-3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Our Bill Howe play of the game.
Hey, maybe Travis Jankowski, Dick, has been watching Corey Spangenberg a little bit, because that's almost right on the Corey Spangenberg book of taking the pitcher the other way.
That's the beauty of a player that can use the whole field.
Yeah.
That's what Tony Gwynn did. Well, you don't have to pull the ball. There are lots of places to spot one through the infield.
Yep.
So Kimbrell shooting for his 38th save of the season. will face the middle of the order. Posey, Crawford, and the pitcher's spot. We'll see who Bruce Bochy has saved to pinch hit for Broadway. Posey 0 for 3 tonight. Popped up twice and lined to third. That was all facing Andrew Cashner. Cashner went, if you're just joining us, 112 pitches, 6 innings, allowed only 2 runs and 2 hits. Swing and a miss. Posey hasn't taken good cuts tonight.
Yeah, every perfectly located breaking ball that's brought him to his back knee. He's been out in front of it big time.
Surprisingly, only 4 at bats against Kimbrel in their careers, 1 for 4. Wing victory out there on the mound. Craig Kimbrel. In there at 98.
Paint.
Some home run power to face Kimbrel here in the 9th for the Giants. Posey with 19, Crawford with 19 on deck. Right field. And Kemp doesn't catch it. That looked like it was lost in the lights. He was just feeling his way in for it, trying to find it. Could not make the play, and Posey is aboard on a single.
I think you're right, Dick. He definitely got there in time.
But he was feeling his way for it. Boy, that's got to be one of the horrifying moments. You're coming in, you don't quite have a beat on the ball. So a break for Posey and the Giants. He's aboard. And here's Crawford. 2-run single in the first inning. They're going to charge an error on the play. No hit for Posey. Error Kemp. First error of the game.
You know, when I look at that replay, it really didn't look like with his eyes like he was squinting or kind of, you know, tough. That hurts.
97 for a strike. After the 2-run single in the first inning, he was tapped to the mound and struck out.
Well, Crawford's grounded into 15 double plays this year.
Just outside.
The leader in that category in grounding into double plays is actually Matt Duffy with 21. Angel Pagan with 11. Buster Posey with 17. But this guy at the dish 15 times.
Ripped to left, fair ball into the corner. Posey to third, Crawford to second, no one out. And the Giants trying to make that error by Kemp hurt. And that'll bring up pinch hitter Mac Williamson.
Well, no secrets against Greg Kimbrel against Brandon Crawford. He's got the fastball, he's got the curveball. He's sizing it up. All 3 of those pitches away, away, away. And for as many times as you hit against Craig Kimbrel, you can't try to pull that ball. Brandon Crawford, nice easy swing, taking him the opposite way.
Mac Williamson introduced as the pinch hitter, a right-handed batter. I believe this is his first major league at bat. Let's double check. He's 25, called up from Sacramento just a week ago. And this indeed is his debut, and he's up there with a chance to do something special. There are his numbers at AAA Sacramento. Batting for the pitcher. See how the Padres play it with a 4-3 lead. Tying run Posey at third. Go ahead score at second. The double by Crawford, his second hit tonight. Benoit touched up for a home run in the 8th, and now an error and a double against Kimbrel, no one out, and Williamson chases strike one. It's time for the Cholula flamethrower.
And we know that Craig Kimbrel can get up there 98. That's some serious hot sauce, and he needs to get down and dirty here and locate that hot sauce. Keep the ball in the infield or a strikeout to get that first out of the inning.
Williamson, 25-year-old Carolinian. And Kimbrel in front, 2 strikes. Boy, a strikeout pitcher on a strikeout team. This is the time you'd like to call up that K. Williamson is one of those players that signed as an outfielder and with a strong pitcher and with a strong arm but a better hitter. So at Wake Forest, that's what he became. 2 strikes the count. Infield in. 97. Williamson doesn't go, and good block by Norris.
Derek Norris, look at you work.
Oh, so that's a tough block.
Patrick Waugh's got nothing on you.
So 2-2 the count. Infield halfway, not in on the grass. Strikes him out. There's one.
A third of the way there, big boy. Breaking ball saved by Norris. Another breaking ball. Trying to keep it away. The heater up. There's the one that saved a run. Put him away with the fastball up and in.
Oh, here's Kelby Tomlinson, the second baseman. He's walked, struck out, and grounded out. Now the infield comes in even tighter. Remember, Tomlinson, a very speedy runner. You got to respect the possible squeeze, and he takes a strike. Rebuilt infield from the start. Spanchenberg at third, Barmas at short, Jerko on the right side with Wallace. Outside, 98. Young Sherwater, the plate umpire, got that one right.
Yeah. I'm sure Tomlinson's thinking to himself, gosh, I never saw fastballs or biting curveballs like that in the minor leagues.
Again, didn't get the call. Second and third with one out. Padres trying to dig out of this jam and secure the win 4-3. Way upstairs, 3-1. But the preceding pitch, as you could see, was on the letters on the edge. As George Cantos, seems like he pitches every game. Heating up. First base open, catcher Trevor Brown on deck. Challenged him right down the middle. Brown, his first major league hit last night, an RBI double. Got him. Fastball on the outside corner. So Kimbrel, after giving up an error and a double, no one out, strikes out Williamson, punches out Tomlinson, and now it's Brown.
Well, as he goes after Tomlinson, that first pitch curveball really sets him up. Why? Because fastball. Sure, he's missing up, but I want to get to one certain fastball. I think it's this one here. Very late on that. Don't speed up his bat. Throw him the heater. Pounds it away for the strikeout. Why throw him a breaking ball? You don't have to.
That was paint on the outside corner. So down to the final out. The Giants still have men at second and third. Padres lead by one. Trevor Brown takes a breaking ball low. Ball one. Brown tonight. Strikeout, comebacker, and a fly ball.
Tell you what, Kimbrel gets out of this one. This is straight upside down in the water cage, handcuffed with your ankles and hands behind your back, Harry Houdini-like.
Infield now with the luxury of playing back. 20th pitch of the ninth inning for Kimbrel. Oh my, all the way to the backstop. The throw to the plate, not in time, and the game is tied. Oh no. On a wild pitch, the Giants tie the game. Posey scoring, getting on base on an error, and scoring on this wild pitch. How did that get away?
Oof. I was hoping it was going to be a straight carom. It was a pretty good carom, but just too quick.
Posey doesn't have the speed he wants. Good job by Kimbrel to get there and try to make the tag. But Kimbrel unable to complete the deal, and so now a 3-3 tie and the go-ahead score over at third on the wild pitch. And 2-0 to Brown. That's an unearned run, of course. Look at this game. And Giants get 2 runs in the first inning. The first 2 men of the game walk, and a single produces 2 runs. And now here in the ninth inning, an error and a wild pitch ties it up at 4. Now back to business. Brown with a 2-0 count, and he lines it foul. Watch out. Screaming into the crowd down the left field side. Jared Parker, who came off the bench and hit a home run to tie the game in the 8th inning, actually gave the Giants the lead 3-2, is on deck. Three and 1. Cantos and the closer Casilla.
Yeah, if it remains tied, you'll see Cantos. If the Giants take the lead, Casilla.
Ground ball left side. Barmas for the third out, but an error, a double, and a wild pitch, and the Giants tie it up. It's 4-all as the Padres come up in the bottom of the ninth inning. So close to closing the deal, but his own wildness And the Giants take advantage.
Fox Sports San Diego. But first, Behind the Bolt with Nick Hardwick.
After what Cincinnati did to us, it motivates us to get our jock straps together and get ready to go play some football. Because you know he's a heck of a runner, and we all have to get over there and go tackle that guy because it's not easy bringing him down. I tried to tackle him my rookie year. It was tough.
So stay tuned after Padres Live, the postgame show. And Behind the Bolt with former center star of the Chargers, Nick Hardwick. And here he comes again, George Contos, the 70th time to match the number on his back that he's been in the ball game this year.
Well, pretty much Mr. Reliable. A nice year for George Contos, and that's a darn good sample size. As Dick mentioned, 70th game, an ERA of 1.9. He is around the plate.
Let's see how healthy he is. He worked an inning and 2/3 last night and did give up the home run to Corey Spangenberg. And he faces Spangenberg to lead off the bottom of the ninth. Kemp and Upton to follow. First pitch strike. Spangenberg 0 for 2, a couple of walks.
Contos has a cutter, fastball, slider. Not that hard of a thrower, low 90s. I was just going to say, Dick, last night, remember that home run? Corey turned on a pitch. It was up and in a little bit. And I was just about to say, Contos probably concentrating on keep the ball down and away to Spangenberg. With that said, in left field, Diaza is creeping over a little bit towards that left field line there.
Spangenberg, that last pitch, a good one to hit.
Yes,
fouled
it
back.
was.
Eighth pitcher used by Bochy tonight. Jake Peavy started, went 6 innings, no runs, 4 hits. Then Guerin, Osich, Strickland, Romo, Lopez, Broadway, and now Contos. Padres 4 runs, 9 hits. Giants 4 runs, 4 hits. The unearned run in the top of the 9th inning, tying it up. Sean Kelly getting loose. Nice job last night for Kelly. Went 1 inning, struck out the side. Two and two. Kemp's going to get a chance to atone for that error. Outside, full count.
You know, you mentioned the home run, Dick. That Spangenberg hit off Contos, and it's interesting because 8 of his 15 runs that he has allowed, Contos, have come off home runs. Each of his last 4 runs allowed have been goners.
Spangenberg trying to get on here in the 9th. 3-2. Chop to the left side, and Duffy just does get him. 1 away. Matt Kemp. On his 31st birthday, 1 for 4, a single back in the 3rd. That's a nice note. 6 walk-off home runs. Line to left center field. That's going to make it up the alley. Kemp on his way to second base. Takes a turn and holds with a double, the winning run at second base for the Padres here in the 9th. So the 2 birthday men, Kemp and Jerko between them, 5 hits tonight.
Well, let's check out the pitch. It's down, but catches too much of the plate. And that's the swing we've seen lately from Matt Kemp. Nice and smooth. Splits the gap in left center field. See how they pitch to Upton here.
Whether they will pitch to him.
Yeah.
Posey way off the line at first base, as you can see.
4 wide ones.
Yeah, that's going to be another intentional pass. They walked Melvin Upton, the older brother, in the last one. They'll take the chances with Brett Wallace. And they've got a left-hander throwing in the bullpen. Now they take the bat out of Upton's hands. He's 0 for 4 tonight. And we'll see what Bochy has in mind with Wallace, the left-handed hitter. Yeah, and they go to the bullpen again. This is what happens with these September call-ups. You have so much, a wealth of bullpen available, so why not use them all? This is Jeremy Affeldt, the veteran lefty. So let's go back to our Harrah's game summary. In the first inning, with 2 on via walks, Brandon Crawford gave the Giants a 2-0 lead with that single. Jan Solarte tied it with a 2-run double in the 7th inning. Then pinch hitter Jarrett Parker goes opposite field. Home run, his second. And it's a 3-2 lead, only to find Jankowski knocking in 2 with his double in the bottom of the 8th inning, a 4-3 score. Then in the top of the 9th, an error by Kemp in right field, and then a wild pitch with a runner at third. That's Posey, who was aboard on the error, and the unearned run tied it up at 4. So Jeremy Affeldt on the mound.
Well, the numbers for the veteran left-hander Affeldt look pretty darn good. This being his 48th game. Left-handers, batters that is, only hitting 129 off Jeremy. They're 4 for their last 31. And Dick, you talked about the September call-ups, and for the Giants, look who's been used and look who is still remaining.
They still got plenty of pen left. A couple of those starters, Kane and Vogelsong, now in the bullpen. His son Brett Bochy, Casilla the closer, veteran Petit, another rookie Hall. Got a appears Wallace will hit for himself, lefty against lefty. Last time up, single to left field and scored one of the 2 runs on Jankowski's double. Well, here's just to remind Brett Wallace how sweet it is when you barrel up one perfectly. It'll go a long way. A pinch homer last night.
Well, I'm guessing that Jeremy Affeldt, the left-hander, is going to try to keep the ball away from Wallace. He will throw that sweeping breaking ball. Doesn't throw that hard, kind of low 3/4 too. So we saw Brett Wallace earlier go to left field for a single. That was in the 8th inning, ended up scoring a run.
His homer was against the right-hander Strickland last night. A smash at first base and infield hit was also against the right-hander Casilla.
Well, they got the rally caps going. See if Brett Wallace can come up with a big hit.
1 out, winning run. Kemp at second. And the first pitch misses away. Jet Jerko with 3 hits on deck. And no right-handers throwing in the bullpen for the Giants, so this may be a 1-batter opportunity for Affeldt, just in there to pitch to Wallace. Squeezed a little on that first one. High pop up. Infield fly rule is called. And the catch made by second baseman Tomlinson. 2 away. And let's wait for Bochy to make another appearance. Here he comes. A pitching parade for the San Francisco Giants. And now they call upon their closer, Santiago Casilla. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th pitcher used in the game for San Francisco. Well, Jerko will be the hitter. Chance to win it. Single to right field his first time up. Grounded out in the 4th and came back to single up the middle in the 7th and scored a run, and then lined a single to left and scored another run in the 8th inning. 3 for 4 nights, so a couple of 3 candles have been lit by Jerko. How about a 4?
And you know what? They can't bring this pitcher in. I don't have any more room on my scorecard.
Yeah, in spring training, you'd be yelling out there at Bochy saying, "Hey, that's enough."
And once again, as you mentioned earlier, Dick, just another argument where people talk about the September call-ups, and some teams can call up more pitchers than others, and you fall into this type of situation in the month of September. And there's the messy scorecard on the wall of the San Diego Padres.
Look at over there on the right in the pitcher's spot.
Yep.
All those blue wipeouts. Well, it is what it is, but I think even many of the managers feel it would be a better game late in September. You can bring up 15 more and have 40 in uniform, but you have to designate each night the 25 players that are eligible to play in the game. Isn't that what you think?
I totally agree. I wouldn't even mind going 27, like 28, and then, like you said, because there are certain situations. Some teams, like Madison Bumgarner, he's a guy who I'd keep hot every night, even though it's not his night to pitch to start, right? Because you can use his bat in the lineup if you want. Right?
Okay, all right.
And as a manager, you have your starter that night, so you can take the 4 starters off.
Right.
And then you could put, maybe an extra catcher, maybe another position player, however you choose. But this is just ridiculous.
But that's how they play it here in September, and we'll see whether or not they ever change that. I think, as we discuss it with various managers around the league, that they'd be in favor of reducing the number eligible on a given night.
Bruce Bochy is one of those. Talked to him in San Francisco. He's a firm believer in that.
Casilla going through his ritual, and with runners at first and second, 2 outs. Jerko trying to win it for the Padres and wrap up his own birthday present. shared with his team. Kemp and Upton aboard with 2 outs. Ball 1. The outfield for the Giants shortened up. So a ball hit well to the outfield, a base hit. They're going to be able to make a play at the plate. Two and 0. I guess Casilla didn't get the card to come to Jerko's birthday party. Huh? A little upset by that. Well, let's see what Jerko can do here. Got a pitch to, I guess, something he likes in 2-0 and give it a ride. And he drives it to left center field, and it is by the outfielders. Happy birthday to you. Padres 5, Giants 4. The 4th hit of the night for Jed Jerko on his 27th birthday, and he wins it. A walk-off win, and the Padres have a hard-earned 5-4 victory. And a painful loss for the Giants with the Dodgers winning, so they lose a full game in their fading bid to catch Los Angeles. They're now 7 back. But it's a night for Jerko and the Padres as the birthday men collaborate. Kemp with a double on his 31st birthday to set the table, and Jerko, number 27, his birthday, wins it on his 4th hit of the night.
You know, Jed Jerko just looked so comfortable during that at bat, realizing that all the pressure on Casilla. He got a good pitch. He can put a good swing on it, not over swinging. Let's check it out. Casilla out of the hand. It's a 2-seamer in. Boy, he let that ball travel. Got the foot planted. The hands were back. He splits the gap. As you mentioned, Dick, the outfielder was playing in a little bit. And in comes the birthday boy to score the winning run via the birthday boy driving him in.
And Chris Budden with a night star. Happy birthday.
It is a happy birthday, Jed Jerko. What were you looking for there off Casilla?
I was just trying to get something up, out, over the plate. You know, he's got a good sinker, a good curveball. Just trying to get something up, out, over, and put a good swing on it.
It's not often Craig Kimbrell blows his save, so how important was it for you guys to come back in the 9th?
That was a good team effort, obviously. You know.
Little birthday shower, you knew that was coming.
Never felt better. But, you know, we battled as a team, you know. Faced a little bit of adversity late in that game. We kept battling, kept fighting back, and able to score a couple runs to get the win.
Hey, speaking of father, too, how are you going to celebrate the big birthday tonight?
They better be in bed, but hopefully, you know, have a little, maybe a little cake later.
Appreciate the time. Thanks so much, Jed.
So, Jed Jerko, you couldn't script it any better. 4 hits, a game-winning walk-off hit, and Kemp, the other birthday man, scores the winning run. That's a great story, and a 5-4 win. Mike Pomerantz.
Dick, thanks very much. When Mark and I see you on the post-game show, we'll break down everything that happened on the field. Tonight you'll see Jed's magical birthday evening. Also, Matt Kemp chipping in, and you're going to hear from Pat Murphy. All that plus highlights from around the league in just a couple of moments.